What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. Any dogs in the house? Woo, 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 woo. Any dogs in the house? Woo, 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 woo. Now, with that out of the way, shall we begin?
Lobo Nation is on Jack FM. KOOI, Jacksonville, Tyler, Longview.
106.5 Jack FM presents the John King Coaches Show.
Brought to you by Peters Chevrolet Chrysler Dodge Jeep Buick in Longview.
Well, welcome back, sports fans, to Longview Lobo football. Brought to you by Peters Chevrolet Chrysler Dodge Jeep Buick, Fiat, and Longview. It's time for another year of Longview Lobo football. I'm Harlan, the sports guy, your host for the John King Coaches Show, and my partner, Pigskin Bob. Welcome back.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm doing great. Ready for another year. Even one night early, we'll take it. And now let's bring in the star of the John King Coaches Show, John King.
Hey.
How you doing, Coach?
Glad to be here. Yeah, how about that? The star of the John King Coaches Show.
That's right.
Claim to fame.
That's it.
Year 20, being a head coach of the Lobos. Here we go.
We tried to replace you, but no.
Well, you're not the only ones trying to replace
No, I'm kidding. Scott Surratt was in last week when you came in for your interview, and as soon as you walked in, we threw a Lobo hat on him, and then Bob grabbed a picture, and we thought of all the fun we could have on the internet with
you think so?
Scott Surratt wearing a Lobo hat.
He's coming along here.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Hey, and by the way, if you want to hear that interview that we did last week, it's long, and we talk about your summer and what you did, and a lot more. It's a more open time schedule where we don't have constraints like this. Check that out at KYKX1057.com. It's under the rest of the sports report. All of our preseason interviews were on there, and you've come in every year and done that, and we appreciate that. And so in a shorter version, how was the summer?
It was busy. It flew by, but I thought it was a good summer in terms of our training with our kids. We averaged about 400 kids a day, middle school to high school, boys, girls. Coaches did an excellent job with it, so real pleased with that part of it. But
that's a decent-sized high school. 400 kids.
It's herding cats. We get bad weather. It's herding cats. I mean, we under the breezeway. We're any dry space with a flat surface. We're trying to use it.
Yeah, because their attention span's a little bit off whack.
It is. You know, but I think our strength condition coordinator Clark Orn did a good job organizing things. Kids, they've held up well to the heat. So I've been pleased with it.
Do y'all have to feed them?
In the summer,
there? Yeah,
we do. We have a feeding program with the school district that we, they feed them breakfast and lunch every day. So yeah, that's a nice perk for our kids.
That is,
and it's very important too.
It is. You know, big thing. They show up and we put something on their belly before we start to work out. They eat a light breakfast and then we work out, and probably about 2.5 hours later we feed them some type of lunch for the day. So
steaks.
Lots of calories.
Ain't quite there yet, but yeah, we
steaks, pasta, and lobster.
Yeah, put something on their belly, but
and bologna sandwich.
They'll eat it. Peanut butter, jelly.
Yeah, peanut butter goes a long way.
It does, and that's kind of what we do every day now. When they come in after school, we give them a PBJ, and they have a bottle of water, and there may be some other snack food that they have. So they enjoy it, but about the middle of the year, then peanut butter sandwiches, they get tired of them, just like everybody else would.
Right.
I've changed up on them a little bit.
Right. How come in 2019 they got steaks? They won steak. Okay? Right?
Yeah, you get a ring, you can get a steak.
That's right.
Okay, but last night y'all did feed them something special after practice.
Yeah, every night every week before the varsity game, the night before we have some boosters that get together and feed our kids. They feed them supper up in the press box area and get them a nice meal. Then they get to go watch some varsity games. Yeah, that's headed up by Jesse Monch and his crew. He's got several people to help him with, but he organizes it and sets it up and comes up with the menu each week. Something he loves to do. And he's learning why Coach King does the things the way Coach King does them. But he's hard headed. He won't do it his way first, but he's gonna figure it out.
Too
many options is not always good.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I want a burger next week.
Well, we're all getting a burger.
Okay.
Not you get a burger, you get a chicken sandwich. Hey, you can get lasagna. No, one option.
All right, let's catch everybody up on what's happened since last year, since the Alito game. What's going on? Who's transferred in, transferred out, new coaches? Kind of catch everybody up on that.
Well, we had a coaching change. John Ritt left and took a coordinator's job at Houston Yates. He was our receivers coach, and we moved up Jalen Claiborne from our freshman staff to coach receivers. And then Coach Bournes was coaching our varsity offensive line, and he wanted to go call the freshman offense. So he volunteered to go down to the freshmen, which created a spot for us in the offensive line. And we hired C.J. Lottinger back for the third time. I think that's the last time I'm hiring you back.
It's like Brandon Michael on kicks.
Yeah. Well,
we let him go. He keeps coming back.
Must have been the only one available. Is all I tell you. No. But CJ's back. He coached our offensive line 2 different times, and was here when we won state, and does a good job with it. But he's excellent with that. But that's it. We had another trainer. We lost a trainer. Athletic trainer left and went back home to Nebraska. And we added Chad Boer. He came in from Marshall to be an athletic trainer. We have 4 of them. Very fortunate because there was a bunch of openings for athletic trainers. People can't find bodies, qualified people to work. So
well, and they have a very important job right now because of the heat and
yes, they do.
All the other things that are happening when it's 110 degrees outside. And everybody talks about the football players, but what about you coaches out in this heat? I mean, you're not 17 years old, and you're not. When I'm saying not you, but the coaches, you're not 17 years old and in the best of shape. How have your coaches been able to hold up?
You have a very
under the heat?
athletic build.
To me, I feel like I'm 17.
Husky.
Well, here's what I do for the coaches. Okay, I've got a water hydrant and a water hose. So every break you get to go over and drink out of that water hose.
Okay, that's all they need.
Have you ever done that before?
In Jefferson, we were raised.
Well, that's
with
how
it.
these coaches were raised too. They're tougher. They can go over and drink out of the hose. No, they they take water breaks just like the kids. I mean, you're right. Got to take care of those guys, and these guys hydrate all day long just like the kids. So they know how hot it is. But no, we're fortunate in that aspect. As far as the team wise, not a lot of change there. We had a great off season, great spring training. Summer was good, and we went in with. A lot of got 150 kids on JV varsity combined right now, which is more than we've had at this point ever. Mm-hmm. And they have about 90 freshmen. So there's a bunch of kids playing football in Longview, Texas. And you got a few new faces in terms of who's on varsity and who hasn't. Right. But in terms of new people, none.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think we're going to talk about the 2023 Lobos in a minute. Before we take our break, I think I'd be remiss if I didn't go back to Aledo and talk about the weather delay, the weird ending to the season, the heartbreaking ending to the season. And I think the best question we had last week when we talked was, did the weather delay help, hurt, or no effect? And I'll let you answer.
It was a heartbreaker. Played our tails off all year long, had a chance to go to the state championship game and make a few mistakes in the second half. It cost us. But the weather, we're not going to make an excuse about it, but I don't think it helped. I would prefer to kept playing. It kind of kills your momentum. Then you go inside and you think you're in a 30-minute weather delay, right. And then all of a sudden you get your juices flowing again, fish to go back out, and hey, 30 more minutes. And this happened 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of a just up and down deal with the kids, and emotionally and just psychologically, it has an effect on you because you're thinking, well, we're going to do this again, then there's going to be another lightning strike, or something. So, no, been better to keep going.
Yeah, and everyone thought it was the state championship game. It turned out to be they went on to win state, get their 11th title, and that's a heartbreaker. And I thought before we get on with the season this year, we ought to recap that. So there you go. That's a bow on that deal. And now we're ready for 2023 Longview Lobo football. And that's what we're going to talk about on the John King Coaches Show, presented by Peters Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Buick, Fiat, and Longview. We'll do that after this on 106.5 Jack FM.
Peters Chevrolet has a new shipment that just arrived. Our largest selection of trucks and cars of the year. With Silverados, Silverado Heavy Duty, and the Silverado Diesel half-ton trucks with up to 29 miles per gallon. And don't miss fantastic deals, like 1.9% financing on Silverado and Silverado Heavy Duty. So check out the largest selection of new Chevrolets at Peters Chevrolet. Online at peterscars.net. Peters Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Why hire the Lobo lawyers? Because if you've been seriously injured through no fault of your own, you don't have to fight the insurance company alone. We are your pack, and we will fight for you. When it's time to Lobo up and lawyer up, call Story and Hoover, the Lobo Lawyers. 903-CALL-DAN. Board-certified personal injury trial lawyers. 903-CALL-DAN. That's 903-CALLDAN. Story and Hoover, the Lobo Lawyers.
The best things in life are free. You know, the simple things. Things that bring us joy, comfort, and peace of mind. Things you simply enjoy. With Eastman Credit Union's Beyond Free checking account, that's exactly what you'll get. A checking account that meets your financial needs with no hassles, no hidden fees, and all the features that make managing your money stress-free. Experience the freedom of a Beyond Free checking account from Eastman Credit Union. Open your account today at ecu.org/free.
Super students require super powerful internet. Get Cable Link's broadband. Now 300 megs with unlimited data for less than $35 a month. The best price in town for this speed. You get a 12-month price lock, 30-day money-back guarantee, no credit check, and no deposit. Plus, you may qualify for the affordable connectivity plan for more savings. Visit cablelinks.com/connect. That's cablelinks.com/connect. Many factors affect speed. Offer expires without notice. Restrictions apply.
Two great Longview traditions, Longview Lobo Football and Hot Dog Express. Stop by Hot Dog Express this week for your favorite hot dogs and delicious fries, featuring all your favorites, the mustard dog, delicious chili cheese dogs, the famous Chicago dog, and Polish sausages. Hot Dog Express on Highway 80 now features an expanded drive-through lane. Good luck to the Longview Lobos this season. Let's make another state championship run with extra mustard.
Start checking at Telco Plus Credit Union to be a winner. Their checking accounts are awesome. Direct deposit is paid 2 days early. Bill pay is free. Overdraft or no overdraft options. And they set you up to win a free app, low balance alerts, and budget software. They have discounts for students and seniors. Open a checking account today with your hometown credit union, Telco Plus, to save and earn more. Federal insured by the NCUA. Checking approval and membership qualifications apply. Visit telcoplus.org for details and restrictions.
Harlan, the sports guy, Pigskin Bob, head coach John King back on the John King Coaches Show. Big thank you for once again sponsoring the John King Show to Peter Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Buick, and Fiat in Longview. And here we go, 2023. You reset the cards. You go back to zero, where everybody's 0-0. And you got a tough McKinney team right out of the gate, number 22 in 6A.
Yes, very tough season opener. And I think they're probably being overlooked, ranked 22nd. These guys are talented. They have a lot of returning players from last year's 8-5 team. They had Southlake on the ropes, turning the ball over Lake. They'd been in the fourth round of the playoffs, and they were the fourth place team in that district. So they play in a very tough district, and they play some big boy football.
Tough district.
Allen, Denton, Guyer, Prosper, and they're picked to win it by some media outlets this year in terms of their district play. But Marcus Shavers has been there now, I don't know how many years, 4 or 5 years. Has done an outstanding job. He was Allen Eagle and went on to play at Arkansas and came back and went to coaching at McKinney and really flipped that program around. So, but for us, we're sitting there with 43 returning lettermen, 12 returning starters from last year's team. But it's a new team. It's new chemistry you got to build, and we have some inexperience in some very important spots. The most obvious is going to be quarterback. And the next one to me is going to be a couple of offensive linemen and 2 tight ends. They're going to be thrown in the fire tonight. And then defensively, most of our defense is back with the exception of our interior of our defense, 2 defensive tackles and 2 linebackers. They're going to be new. Now, some of them played a lot last year, but they've never been out there, when it's
0-0,
when the bullets start flying,
right.
First quarter.
Right.
So how are they going to respond? So there's a lot of inexperience there. Our kicker, punter is new, John Monsivais, and there's just so many things that you've got to get synced in to build the chemistry of your team to figure out exactly what you can, what you can't do. How are they going to respond? Is this guy able to do it? Do we need to have another ready to do this? Do we have to change our scheme? All those things. We feel like we have a pretty good idea. The problem is having enough time to get it all fixed, because we scrimmaged last Thursday. And I hate that because it costs us a day of work. we used to scrimmage on Saturday. We get the whole week of practice. So now we're scrimmaging on Thursday. We play our first game on Thursday. So really, in essence, to me, we've lost 3 days of practice that we could have used and needed. Really because of the way we've had to practice with all the heat and stuff we had to go through. We've really had to slow things down, and we've really, had to keep in mind the safety of the kids and some things maybe that you didn't. That wouldn't be the correct word. It wouldn't be acceptable if it was 70 degrees. Maybe you turn a blind eye to when it's 105, if you know what I mean. So you got to have a little bit of understanding and compassion and realness to know that, hey, it's 105. His kid's had about 20 reps. He's tired and he's sloppy, and so it just changes things. But I wish we had the more practices in. But again, 12 starters back, very good senior class, great leadership, great kids, and I feel like we can get the chemistry matched up. We're going to have a chance to be a good football team.
All of the buzz in the offseason is about your running back, Taylor Tatum, all right? Is he the best running back in the country? Not the state of Texas. Is he the best running back in the country?
Well,
some people are, but it's not me saying that.
No, there's a lot of Division I college coaches saying that.
There's a lot of other people smarter than me.
Here's the deal. He's probably got the most unique skill set of any running back I've coached.
Really?
And you've coached
really good ones. And
NFL running backs.
Here's what he can do. He can run it, of course. He can run it between the tackles. He can run it on the edge. He has home run speed. He has physicality, right? He can block. He can get in the slot and run routes, catch the ball from there. He can return kicks. I mean, you may see him as a punter. I mean, he's just a tremendous athlete.
He's the backup punter, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He's a tremendous athlete. We've had some great running backs that played in the league.
Yes.
But at this age, he has the most unique skill set I've seen. He can turn around over and go play linebacker and tackle.
I was wondering if, you want to.
So we've had guys that played running back that couldn't do the diverse things he can do. Now, were they better, with the ball in their hand? I'm not going to get into all that, but he has a unique skill set. Do I think he's the best in the country? I sure do.
Dang straight.
But here's the deal. We all better understand. It takes 11 on the field. It ain't a one-man show, and that's going to be the thing. We've got to get married up, synced up. It's going to be all 11 on the same page. We go out there and Taylor Tatum doesn't have a good game. Well, it may not be all Taylor Tatum's fault, so and he and I have had this conversation. It ain't going to be like it was last year. You ain't going to pick up where we left off, buddy. This is a new football team, and we've got to get people on the same page. We've got to get some of that youth grown up, and when we do, we'll be fine.
Well, that leads to the natural next question, and one of the biggest questions. The talk has been about Tatum, but the questions have been about quarterback, because if they don't respect your passing game, you can have the best running back in the country. They're going to have 11 in the box, and you ain't going nowhere.
They may do that anyway. But,
I could see that happening.
But if you have a threat to throw the ball, it sure makes it a lot better. And we've had a quarterback competition. Been going on since the spring. Tonight we're going to go with Andrew Tutt as a starter. I'm not saying the other ones are not going to play, but we picked Andrew Tutt based on our evaluation, and that doesn't mean that Maverick Rowe or D.D. Williams are not good quarterbacks and are not going to play. But right now, he's going to start tonight, and the competition's ongoing. And
his job to lose?
Who?
Tutt.
Well, he's starting tonight, so I guess it would be.
Okay.
I'm not going to start him to say he ain't the guy.
Okay.
I'm not really going to put him on a short leash either. I mean, he's going to make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You just got to weather the storm and go through it. He's a first-time starter. He hadn't played. He's one of those guys that hadn't played enough in the varsity game when the game's still undecided. He was always in backup duty, So we've had first-time starters before, whether it was Haynes King, Jordan Allen, and Aaron Johnson. They all make mistakes early on, but they'll grow into it. They get comfortable with the speed of the game.
Yeah, but he's getting baptized with fire tonight. I mean,
sure
you
is.
Talk about your first game as a starter against
Jordan Allen was pretty tough too against Temple at AT&T Stadium following COVID. That was probably the toughest opener in terms of no spring ball, coming off of COVID, going to AT&T, wearing masks, wearing all this crap. Then trying to go play a football game with a kid a sophomore kid.
And you've had other first games that were really tough. The one you played at the Star. just a couple years ago.
Didn't Ryan?
Yeah.
The next year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
after that, when I swore up and down I wasn't playing in another classic, here we are playing.
Yeah, right.
I couldn't find a game.
If they have a weakness, would you say it's their offensive line?
Who?
McKinney.
McKinney.
No.
They graduated 4 off the offensive line
Bob,
last year.
would you say that?
I would.
You wanna
I
go
would
watch
say
it?
that's if
You
they
need to
do
quit
have a weakness.
reading the paper and go watch the video.
Okay, so then what is their weakness?
I ain't seen one yet. They're punter.
They're punter.
They're punter.
They're special teams.
Well, make them punt.
Yeah, that's the
Coach.
plan. If we can make a punt, we got a chance.
Here's what I want to finish with. I think your defense is going to be outstanding. You might have the best defensive backfield in the state, except for the McKinney Lions. They might have a better defensive backfield.
Well, they have
than
six.
us.
They have 6 Division I commitments
Yes.
on defense alone, and I'm talking about Power 5 commitments. They're not. They're not going to, local colleges. I'm talking about from
Oklahoma
Oregon
State.
They're going to play with Taylor
State,
Tatum and Terry
Florida.
Bussey. Yeah.
Yeah. They've got an all-star backfield.
Yeah.
In the defensive backfield, so it'll be a difficult challenge. So got to find a way to throw the ball, though. I mean, DK, Ethan, they're going to have to find a way to shake them loose, get it back out of the backfield, Taylor out of the backfield or something. So we've played really, really good football teams before, and I would have to say their defensive secondary linebacker level as a whole is as good as any of them.
All right, Ethan Harrison, big night tonight.
Let's hope.
Yeah. Let's get him the
Fingers
ball.
crossed, bro.
Let's get him the ball. Hey, Coach, we appreciate your time. Good luck tonight. It's a special Thursday night season opening edition of Longview Lobo football, and we're going to send it to McKinney ISD Stadium for Brian Houston, Johnny Vaughn, and Game 1 of the 2023 Longview Lobos season. This has been the John King Coaches Show, presented by Peters Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Buick, Fiat, and Longview. For Pigskin Bob, for Coach John King, I'm Harlan, the sports guy. Go Lobos!
Peters Buick in Longview has the best selection in East Texas. Over 70 Buicks to choose from, like the all-new 2024 Buick Encore GX, starting at $25,750. Or the Buick Encore GX Avenir, with an all-new look and up to 31 miles per gallon. The largest selection of new Buicks from the #1 Buick dealer in East Texas, Peters Buick. Online at peterscars.net.
This has been the John King Coaches Show on 106.5 Jack FM.
Brought to you by Peters Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Buick, and Longview.
Soapy's Car Wash has been a proud sponsor of Longview Lobo football for over 20 years. Stay clean this football season with Soapy's Car Wash. The self-serve and automated bays in front of Sam's Club on Wall Street. And of course the drive-through wash on Highway 80. Save money with a monthly pass. And let's stay mean and clean all the way to the state championship. Soapy's is a place to be. Soapy's Car Wash. Just say the works.
When you're in need of collision repair, you need a shop that has a proven track record of being experienced, reliable, and friendly. McDaniel's Quality Body Works has stood the test of time in Longview for 89 years. From the early years of repairing Furies, Bel Airs, and Studebakers to today's complex Cobras, Stingrays, and Silverados, McDaniel's has been committed to your automotive collision repair needs since 1933. McDaniel's Quality Body Works in Longview, Kilgore, and Gilmer is the solution to your collision repair needs.
Injuries aren't planned, and here at Longview Orthopedic, we're going to work together with patients to try to obtain the best outcome possible for them. We have the ability to treat all injuries for all patients and athletes of all ages. One thing I want patients to understand is that, I've been in their situation. I played football at Texas A&M University, played offensive line, I was a guard, and being an athlete, suffering injuries, and having that passion to get back on the field gave me a really good perspective on the other side of the line as a treating physician now here at the Longview Orthopedic Clinic.
What time is it? Game time. Any dogs in the house? Woo, 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 woo. Now, with that out of the way, shall we begin?
Hell yeah! 106.5 Jack FM presents Longview Lobo High School football.
KOOI Jacksonville. Brought to you by Peters Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. Also brought to you by Eastman Credit Union, Longview, Kilgore Cable TV, Sorry and Hoover Law Firm, Fish's RV Center, Longview Orthopedic Clinic, Christus Good Shepherd, Soapy's Car Wash, Hot Dog Express, Telco Plus Credit Union, and McDaniel's Quality Body Works. The Lobos are on 106.5 Jack FM.
Lobo Nation, it's time for Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM, live from the almost $70 million palace known as McKinney ISD Stadium and Community Event Center. It is game one of the McKinney ISD Classic and the 2023 high school football season opener between the second-ranked Longview Lobos and the McKinney Lions. I'm Brian Houston along with Johnny Vaughn as the Lobos take the field. Lobos are coached by John King, entering his 20th year as the Lobo coach. Last year's 14-1 Class 5A Division I semifinalist enter this year with a big question mark at quarterback, but no question mark about running back and Oklahoma Sooners commit Taylor Tatum. He enters as the number one ranked running back in the country. Last year had 1,889 rushing yards, 33 rushing touchdowns, 12 catches, and 3 receiving touchdowns. Defensively, the Lobos will be strong again, led up front by Billy Smith and Zarius Shepard, and on the back end by Oklahoma State commit safety Willie Nelson and Tulsa commit Buda Garrett. McKinney, coached by Marcus Shaver, advanced to the Class 6A Division II Region I semifinals. They feature a great running back as well. Brian Jackson is committed to USC. He had 1,647 yards and 24 rushing touchdowns in 2022. Mekhi Frazier, an Oregon State commit, also plays running back and will see some time on defense as well. They've got a stout defense led by Florida commit safety Xavier Filsaime. He had 92 tackles, 3 fumble recoveries, 3 pass breakups. These are kind of mirror image teams of each other. It's Longview versus McKinney in the season opener. Now Johnny Vaughn with us for his 45th year doing Longview Lobos football. Did they wear helmets at that time? Just wanted to ask.
I can't remember, so long ago.
Tell me what you think about these 2023 Longview Lobos.
Well, I think one of the great things about this team is we've got a lot of the people back in the secondary. Jaden Simmons is back, Buda Garrett, Willie Nelson, Chase Smith, all of those guys will have started 3 years after this season. Great players. Up front, Billy Smith and Zarius Shepard both return, and both of those guys are outstanding players. And for instance, in tonight's game, Brian Jackson, 6'1", 230-pounder, where you got to have some horses down there to stop people like that. And Billy Smith and Zarius Shepard are players that can do just that. So I think we've got a lot of people back on defense. I think the real question has got to be with the offense. You lose Jalen Hale, maybe one of the or the number one receiver in the state. He's at Alabama now. We've got Taylor Tatum back, though, that one of the top running backs in the state, but we don't know about the quarterback, and that's always at every level before it's all said and done.
Yep,
the quarterback is going to make a difference either one way or the other.
No doubt.
Andrew Tutt is not. I don't know. Maybe he had 15 plays last year. So,
mostly in mop-up duty.
Yeah. So we'll see how he steps up tonight and see how this season goes.
McKinney had won the toss. They elected to defer. That means we'll see the Lobos on offense first. Lobos in white jerseys, white pants with the green numerals, green headgear, and the McKinney Boyd Lions about to take the field. We're going to take a 1-minute timeout. We'll come back with more in the pregame. You're listening to Longview Lobos football on 106.5 Jack FM.
Why hire the Lobo Lawyers? Because if you've been seriously injured through no fault of your own, you don't have to fight the insurance company alone. We are your pack, and we will fight for you. When it's time to Lobo up and lawyer up, call Story and Hoover, the Lobo Lawyers. 903-CALL-DAN. Board-certified personal injury trial lawyers. 903-CALL-DAN. That's 903-CALLDAN. Story and Hoover, the Lobo Lawyers.
Fish's RV knows a thing or two about how to go play in Texas. And we've been here long enough to know that this time of year, in this town, that means one thing. Lobos football is back. And Fish's RV's fired up to be back as a sponsor. We can't wait to watch the green, gold, and white get back to ball and take care of business. So, Lobos fans, help us bring the noise every game this fall. Because if we're going to go play, we might as well go all the way. Fish's RV in Longview, at the intersection of Judson and George Ritchie, where memories begin.
Brian Houston and Johnny Vaughn back at McKinney ISD Stadium, just seconds away from the opener and the kickoff between McKinney and Longview. The story of this ball game, Johnny, regardless of what you see as far as players are concerned, is the heat. It's 103 degrees right now, real temperature. Heat index feels like 107. Hottest game I think I've ever called. I've never seen a game start off at kickoff this warm, and it's going to be a factor in this ball game. I don't care how good a condition you're in. This is the kind of heat that can really affect a ball game.
Yeah, and this is like everybody plays now. It's a turf field, and when you have a turf field, if you play on grass, clearly the grass is not as hot. But when you play on turf, the heat just radiates up, and it is a factor in this game.
And there is zero wind right now blowing in the stadium. I'm just going to tell you right now, it's a really slim crowd here tonight. You can kind of imagine it's going to take a hearty soul to come out here and watch this ball game as hot as it is tonight. You got to be a loyal family member. I'd have to tell my son tonight, I think he might be adopted, because I'm not going to sit in this heat. It is rough out there, very hot. So the team that's hydrated the most, the team that's practiced in this heat the most, the team that's got enough depth to be able to rotate players may have the edge in this ball game. Depth is going to be everything tonight.
I think so. You're going to have to rotate a lot of people in for this game.
It's going to be really difficult, and this is where you hope, if you're the Longview Lobos, and both teams are going to try to do this. They're going to try to pound the rock, eat up the clock, keep the defense on the field for a long time. They want to be able to run ball control. John King says both teams like to run the ball and they like to play defense. So, again, they're mirror images of each other right now. So you kind of expect they'll be trying to do the same things to each other.
Which is kind of unusual in today's world. Usually you have one of the team that they run a speeded up offense, throw the ball a lot. You'll see some of that, but tonight – it's going to come down to the running backs, I think.
No doubt. And you mentioned it earlier, Andrew Tutt comes in as the quarterback tonight. John King says he's probably the second best passer on the team as far as pure arm talent, but he has leadership qualities. He's a senior. He understands the offense. He knows how to call the plays and get the players going in the right direction, and that means a lot to John King. He does not like mistakes out there, and he doesn't want his quarterback out there running plays in the wrong direction. Maverick Rose got the talent, edge possibly, but may not have quite the grasp on the offense that Tutt has. You heard in the pregame show that Coach King said Tutt's going to make mistakes. Even though he's a senior, he has not played a lot, but he's going to have to make some throws tonight to keep them from putting 8 or 9 in the box and shutting Taylor Tatum down. And so it's going to be critical that somehow, some way, they hit enough passes to keep that defense loose.
Yeah, I mean, you're exactly right. The silver lining is, though, that you can go to Taylor Tatum a lot, and that takes a lot of the pressure off the quarterback, I think. But,
no doubt. And again, Tatum, number 1 running back in the country, according to all the rankings, the 247 rankings, and we've seen him. The guy's a big-time running back. It's hard to find anybody better, but we may see one almost as good, if not equal to him tonight in Brian Jackson. The McKinney Lions come out. They have the yellow helmets on with the dark blue M on each side of the helmet. The navy blue jerseys and pants and yellow numerals. They'll be kicking off from our right to our left. Back deep, Taylor Tatum and Willie Nelson standing on the goal line. And this ball game is just about to get underway. In the 2023 season, let's hope we can play 16 games this year. How about it?
I'm all for it.
Kicker shows he's ready. Steps into it. Cole Dopper sends it flying. It's taken by Nelson at the 4-yard line. Nelson comes up the middle, breaks one tackle, cuts up inside, gets across the 20, and down at the 23-yard line, where he's tackled by number 6, Sincere Blakely. And so the Lobos will start their drive at the 23, 1st and 10. Offensive line, Tavian Morgan is the center. Jacoby Watts and Jamorian George were the supposed to be the starters. We'll keep an eye on that. Fernando Longoria and Caleb Reinhart are the tackles. Tight end should be Cedric Mitchell. DeKalen Reese and Ethan Harrison, the wide receivers. Andrew Tutt. There's a penalty on the play. Are they going to make him kick it again? Nope. Looks like they're going to give the yardage to the Lobos. And so the drive's going to move out to the 38-yard line. So that's already a big break on a penalty on the McKinney Lions.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great opportunity for Longview to move the ball out to almost the 40.
So the Lobos and Tutt are at quarterback, and there's a flag, an illegal procedure to start the ball game already. Not a good way to start, but it does give us time to get the rest of the lineup. Andrew Tutt is the quarterback. It's his first start. Mason Washington will be playing fullback, and Taylor Tatum, of course, is a tailback. The front line for McKinney, Jordan Covington, and Trevor Iwerber are the ends, and Kobe Rosborough is the nose. We'll get to the rest of the defense in just a second. Long snap count in the pistol. Tutt turns, will hand off to Taylor Tatum. Breaking it outside, gets hit at the 35-yard line and brought down by number 8, Ashton McShane. After a short gain on the play, actually lost yardage back to the 35. 15, Cam Oliver, Riley Pettyjohn, Makai Frazier, and Jonathan Agumadu are the linebackers. Zadian Gentry and Ashton McShane, who just made the tackle. And then Xavier Filsamy, college commit, along with Jamarcus DeMar, the safeties. Pistol again, handoff up the middle. And this time it's Mason Washington. And Washington with a short gain back to about the 39-yard line.
Counter dive, and Washington picks up good yardage.
So now we'll find out whether John King is going to play this super conservative on 3rd down and 9 from the 39-yard line in Longview territory, or if he's going to let him actually throw the football here. 2 wide receivers go wide left. Ball's on the right hash mark. In the pistol again, Tutt. Play action. He hands it off. Tatum runs into a wall and then cuts outside. Gets to about the 42-yard line. And it's going to be far short of the yardage needed for a first down. It's going to be 4th down and 6. And the Lobos will send John Monsavias out to punt.
I think you need to note in this first series, I think you see the speed on their defense. We tried to break it out wide a couple of times, and they've just got a lot of people that can move on. It's going to be tough to run against them.
3 and out, high snap. Monsavias, the ball gets over his head. He's got to race back to pick it up at the 10, and he recovers it out at the 5, and that's where McKinney's going to start their drive. 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. A big, big mistake in the specialty teams as a center. Andrew Tutt is the long snapper, and he snapped it over Monsavias' head.
What a disaster. We're at the 42, snaps over his head, rolls down to the 6-yard line, and that's where they're going to start.
So with 10:13 to play here in the first quarter, Lobos standing in the shadow of their own goal post as McKinney is going to start at the Longview 6. And they'll send out Jeremiah Dowd at quarterback. The line is Jace Bryson at center. Courtney Eberhardt and Braylon Leon are the guards. Jericho Stewart and Traymar Thomas are the tackles. More in a moment. I formation. Jackson gets the handoff. Jackson stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Gang tackled back at the 10 by the Lobos. And up off the bottom of the pile, number 31, Kason Brooks. Wyndham Thompson is the fullback. Jackson is the tailback. He is the USC commit. The receivers, Sincere Blakely, Khalil Best, and the tight end is Christian McIntrush. Line for Longview, Billy Smith and Zarius Shepard are the ends. They're experienced. Arian Harper is not. He's in the nose. Linebackers outside, Jamerson Derensburg and Chase Smith. Inside backers, Brendan Reese and Kason Brooks. From the 10-yard line, play action, and they'll hand it off. It was a jet sweep and a score. No, he knocked out of bounds. They did give him the touchdown. Khalil Best took a wide receiver sweep, headed toward the far sideline, got to the flag, and was able to stick it in for the score. 10-yard run.
Yeah, this is all set up by the fourth down when punting formation. The ball snapped over the punter's head, and so they start with a big break to get the score.
On their second play from scrimmage, a 10-yard run, and Cole Dauper will come in to try the extra point that will give McKinney a 7-0 lead if he makes it. Snap is back, kick is up, barely gets over the goal line, but it's good. And with 9:20 to go in the first quarter, it's McKinney 7, Longview nothing. You're listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
Peters Ram in Longview is the #1 Ram truck dealer in East Texas. Don't miss the biggest deal in Texas, the Ram half-ton Lone Star, 2.9% for 72 months, or get a $9,000 discount. Ram heavy-duty trucks, the largest selection of the year, and Ram commercial and fleet units are in stock and ready to go to work. The largest selection of new Ram vehicles at Peters Ram during the Make This the Summer sales event. Online at peterschryslerjeep.net.
Two great Longview traditions, Longview Lobo Football and Hot Dog Express. Stop by Hot Dog Express this week for your favorite hot dogs and delicious fries, featuring all your favorites: the mustard dog, delicious chili cheese dogs, the famous Chicago dog, and Polish sausages. Hot Dog Express on Highway 80 now features an expanded drive-through lane. Good luck to the Longview Lobos this season. Let's make another state championship run with extra mustard.
McKinney cashes in on a special teams blunder by the Longview Lobos. A high snap over the punter's head gives McKinney the ball at the 5. They score from 10 yards out on a Khalil West touchdown to make it 7-0. And Dauper will kick it off, taking about 5 yards deep, and then taking a knee is Willie Nelson back in the end zone for a touchback. And the Lobos will try to come out now and get some offense going here on their second possession of the night with 9:20 to play here in the first quarter of play. They'll start on their own 25-yard line. Kind of a shaky start so far. They opened the ball game with an illegal procedure penalty. They had an error on the special teams that cost them dearly. So hopefully they settle down now. They're in the I formation, 1st and 10 from the 25. Flag goes down as the ball is snapped. And let's see what this is all about. Illegal procedure against the Lobos. Again, a ragged start for Longview. You got a lot of people playing in positions for the first time. Primarily the eyes on the quarterback, Andrew Tutt, who backed up Jordan Allen, a 3-year starter last year. So they will back it up to the 20. It'll be 2nd down and 15. Tatum goes up the middle to the 25. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage for a 5-yard gain. Oliver, the tackler for McKinney, as the Lobos move from our left to our right. Longview fans still with the sun in their face. Hopefully that'll be going down shortly, and it won't be quite so brutal on that far side for the visitors. From the I formation, it's a wing left and a rollout by Tutt, who'll flip it out to the running back at the 35-yard line. He gets knocked out of bounds. That's Mason Washington. Washington hit on the play. And it was number 8, McShane, that made the stop. And it was a 12-yard gain, and it's the first down of the year for the Longview Lobos.
That was a nice play. They had a little rollout, and the out route by Washington made a good throw.
So 1st and 10 for the Lobos at the 37-yard line. 2 wideouts to the left, wing left, in the gun now. And we have Tatum as a Wildcat quarterback running right and getting across the 40 to about the 42. So now we see a wrinkle that we did not see last year. They'll actually spot him at the 43. But he's a good enough athlete that they're going to use him in a lot of different ways to get him some running room. He's going to come off the field now. as Tutt is over at the sidelines talking to Coach John King, and then comes back in to get into the huddle.
Well, they go to him then, and he picks up 17 yards, so you're going to see more of that as this game goes along.
Handoff up the middle, and stifled, smothered by the McKinney defense is running back Buster Mumphrey. In for Tatum on that carry. And he got to about the 44-yard line. And it'll be 3rd down and 3 now for Longview. 7:38 to play first quarter.
You got to, that place, see the speed of McKinney on defense. They shut that down. It's pretty impressive.
From the I formation, Tatum gets the handoff. He'll cut to his left. He'll get across the 50 for a first down for the Lobos. 6-yard gain on the play. Move the sticks. And they're at midfield now with 7:17 to go in the first quarter. McKinney leads at 7-0. Starting to get a little something going in the running game, using a lot of different formations and plays and moving Tatum around. But now in that tight I formation with the fullback right behind Andrew Tutt. Another flag. What is going on out there? The illegal procedure again. They're calling it on number 63. That's Caleb Reinhardt. He is a first-year starter at right tackle, and he's jumping the snap count.
Yeah, we're making a lot of mistakes early here, though.
And the guys that are making them are the guys you would expect to be making those mistakes right now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So they'll try that I formation again now on 1st and 15. And it'll be Tutt with a quick pass out to the right side to Reese. Reese catches it. He gets across the 40, down to around the 38-yard line for a gain of 12. And a first down with just a quick out. And then Reese was able to make a little bit more yardage out of it in space.
Plus, that was a really good throw. It was a little turn in. He hit him right in the numbers. That ought to make Tutt feel pretty good about that pass.
6:17 to go first quarter. 7-0 McKinney. Now on the right hash mark. In the gun, Buster back in the ball game, takes the handoff. He'll roll to his left, and he'll pick up about 3 to the 35-yard line before he is knocked down by number 7, Riley Pettijohn, the linebacker. And it'll be 2nd down and 7 now at the 35-yard line of McKinney. Lobos with a drive here. 6 minutes even to go here in the first quarter. Tutt runs to the huddle to call the play. They will come out in the pistol this time, a double wing formation. And handing it off right up the middle for very little running room, maybe a couple of yards, Taylor Tatum. He'll get to the 32-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down, about 4. 5:20 to play in the first quarter. Lobos now have held the ball for more than 4 minutes. And they will come out with a split backfield. Tutt in the gun on the left hash mark. Play action. Rolling right. Tutt fires deep. Caught. Oh, broken up. Good defensive play by Ashton McShane on a ball that hit Ethan Harrison in the hands. It was busted out of his hands by McShane.
Looked like it was going to have a chance for a big play there. The defensive back slapped it out of his hands.
Yeah, there's just times when you got to give the other guy credit, and the defender made a great play on that catch, non-catch. Stops the clock with 4:54 to go in the first quarter. And it's 4th down and 4. Tatum will come out into the slot on the right side. Tutt, play action. Tutt throwing it deep and trying to make a one-handed grab is Tatum. I thought he had gotten his right arm hung on to by the defender, Xavier Vilsamy, but no flag on the play. And the ball goes over on downs with 4:47 to go in the first quarter. Lobos had a long drive but weren't able to come up with anything.
And Tatum thought he was held also as he said something to the referee, but to no avail.
From the 32-yard line now, McKinney High starts their drive. Handoff. Jackson hit in the backfield. I mean, he is blown up.
By Smith.
Billy Smith jacked him up and dropped him for a 1-yard loss. Smith was a highlight reel last year on the defensive line for Longview, and he's coming back with more of the same tonight.
Yeah, that was a big hit.
Second down and 11. Boy, that's the kind of defense you want to see. They'll come out now, quarterback in the gun with two running backs behind him, and they'll hand off to Jackson, who breaks a tackle at the 40. Now he's on the run to the 50. Gets caught from behind finally at the 45-yard line by number 81 for Longview, and that is Darrensburg, who moved from tight end last year to linebacker tonight. Big gain for McKinney, and you see what the noise is all about with Brian Jackson.
Yeah, he's a load. Let's put it that way.
He gets it into Longview territory at the 47-yard line. That's going to be a 22-yard gain. And so 1st and 10 for McKinney now in Longview territory. And again, Jackson with a straight snap back. Check that. That's God's power. Wahihi. Wawihe. Let's try that again. Wawihe. And he gets 8 yards on the carry. He's the backup quarterback. They'll both play. He's the runner of the two. And so McKinney's got a couple of things they can show to a defense, as well as the ball's now at the 39-yard line. 2nd down and 2. From the shotgun, Wawihe again keeps it and runs, and he's a tough runner, and he carries a defender to the 35-yard line. He's brought down by Buda Garrett, but he made some yardage and got a first down with 3:17 to play in the first quarter. So we see McKinney is not just Brian Jackson.
No, they got a lot of players on this team, and they're going to be a hard team to handle this whole year.
Dowd is back at quarterback. He's got a wing left. High snap over his head this time, and this time it's Mekhi Frazier who picks it up. He's back at his 50-yard line, and he's dragged down from behind, and is it Billy Smith again? Trying to make out, no, not this time. Trying to see who it is. Can't make out the number. What?
That was Casey.
81, okay. That's Darrensburg again. Nice to have my old spotter, Matt Houston, here for a few minutes tonight. As that was a huge loss all the way back to the 49-yard line. Back in McKinney territory, they lost about 19 on the play. 2nd down, 26. Left-handed quarterback throws the screen pass out to the right side to Jacoby Propes. Propes runs out of bounds after a short gain. And that stops the clock with 2:02 to play here in the first quarter.
Man, that was Billy Smith that actually ended up with a tackle and knocked him out of bounds on the far side.
In fact, really didn't gain any yardage on the play. 3rd down and 25. And down at quarterback. He'll send 3 wideouts to the left. Ball's on the right hash. Dowd back to throw. Now he'll run a quarterback draw. Gets away from one tackler, and then great open field grab around the legs by Isaiah Horton. He had room to run, but Horton had great speed and was able to get him to the ground after a short gain of 2. And so McKinney will have to punt the football. So that big 22-yard run by Jackson turned out not to be a killer after all.
Willie Nelson back to return the kick.
Xavier Vilsamy is going to punt. Willie Nelson is back at his own 10. Vilsamy, rugby style, boots it high toward the right sideline. Bounces at the 10. And it's going to roll out of bounds. 45-yard punt by Vilsamy, and Longview is going to have tough field position.
That's a great punt. It's high, kicked over to the right, hits the ground, rolls forward, and Longview's going to start with terrible field position.
They will start
3-yard line.
At the 3. Our game brought to you tonight by Peter Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Buick, Fiat, and Longview. Longview Kilgore Cable, the law offices of Sorey and Hoover, Eastman Credit Union, Bish's RV, McDaniel's Quality Body Works, Longview Orthopedic Clinic, Hot Dog Express, Soapy's Car Wash, and Lobos handed off on first down up the middle. And that time, Mason Washington with the carry. Gets across the 5 to about the 7-yard line. And that'll be a gain of about 3. Longview Lobo football also brought to you by Chris's Good Shepherd Medical Center and Telco Plus Credit Union. 34 seconds to go here in the first quarter. And now a sweep by Tatum to the 5. He'll lose yardage on the play. Good pursuit out there. And he was brought down by Cam Oliver. 13 seconds to go. They may not run another play here at the end of this first quarter. In fact, it doesn't look like they will. Tut's over at the sidelines. They're going to let the clock run out, and we're going to be one period into the books here on the first game of the 2023 season. At the end of one quarter, it is McKinney 7, Longview nothing. You're listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
Peters Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat in Longview has the largest new Jeep selection in East Texas, like the Jeep Wrangler 4xe with fuel economy of 49 miles per gallon and 375 horsepower. And don't miss the best deal of the year. The Jeep Gladiator Sport is 1.9% for 72 months plus employee pricing. And shop new Wrangler, Gladiator, and the Jeep Grand Cherokee during the Jeep Make This the Summer event. And check out the only exclusive Jeep showroom in East Texas at Peters Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat. Online at peterschryslerjeep.net.
Injuries aren't planned, and here at Longview Orthopedic, we're going to work together with patients to try to attain the best outcome possible for them. We have the ability to treat all injuries for all patients and athletes of all ages. One thing I want patients to understand is that, I've been in their situation. I played football at Texas A&M University, played offensive line, I was a guard, and being an athlete, suffering injuries, and having that passion to get back on the field gave me a really good perspective on the other side of the line as a treating physician now here at the Longview Orthopedic Clinic.
We start the second quarter of this ball game at McKinney ISD. Longview trailing McKinney by a score of 7-0. The only score in this ball game set up by a bad snap, a high snap over the head of John Monteveus, the punter for Longview. It set McKinney up with a 5-yard drive. They eventually scored on a 10-yard run by Khalil West. They had a good drive in the last time of possession. They held the ball for over 5 minutes, but ended up having to turn it over on downs on an incomplete pass on fourth down. Been a bit of a ragged first quarter, as you might expect, with a lot of young players in key positions.
I think the fact that McKinney's got such great speed on defense, too, is kind of stymied Longview's offense.
Tut, play action. He'll throw a quick one out to the left side. It's caught and then brought down at the 15-yard line is Buster Mumphrey. It's first down Longview. So, again, just a quick pass. This is the kind of thing, safe pass, kind of a bootleg look that gets the ball out of Andrew Tutt's hands quickly. He doesn't have to think about reading a defense, but it moves the chains. First and 10 Lobos. They are at their own 15-yard line. They'll send Harrison out left. And play action. Tutt dropping back. Fires deep. Right sideline. Ball thrown, underthrown at about the 28-yard line to Ethan Harrison, who was trying to cut outside. He was covered out there by McShane. It'll be second down and 10. John King in his 20th year as the head football coach here at Longview. This time now, wing right, 2 wide receivers. Tatum in motion. They'll hand it off to him on a sweep. Tatum looking for some running room. Spins, fights. He'll get close to the 20-yard line. Might have picked up 4 on the play. Actually, they'll give him 5 to the 20. And Agubadu made the stop. But you see they're using all kinds of different formations and motion and sweeps and just different ways to try to get the ball and get Taylor sprung loose in space.
The problem is that they've just got so much speed that on defense you just don't see that very often, and Tatum just doesn't have any room to run.
Again, wing right from the gun, Tutt trying to signal for motion, and there's a flag for illegal procedures. So Harrison didn't start in motion as Tutt thought he should, and that's about the 4th illegal procedure penalty we've seen so far tonight, which cannot please John King.
We've made a lot of mistakes here early in this game.
5 yards, backs it up to the 15. Clock moves at 10:23 to go in the first half. At halftime, you'll hear Harlan the Sports Guy and Pigskin Bob with their halftime report. Don't forget about the Friday night scoreboard show on Kicks 105.7. That's tomorrow night from 8 till midnight. Now, draw play, handed off up the middle. No running room available for Mason Washington as he is blown up right in the middle by number 33, Aiden Vasquez on the defensive line. And what we're finding out is what we thought coming into this ball game. You're seeing 2 teams that are just about equal. And this will be one of the few times this year you'll see Longview facing a team that's just every bit as talented as they are.
Just as big, just as fast.
Yep. So it's 4th down from the 15, and Montsevius will be at his own 1-yard line, and you cannot have a high snap here. Tutt is the deep snapper as well as the quarterback. And this time the snap's good. He'll rugby-style kick it, rolling to his right, gets the ball off. It's fair caught at the 50-yard line. And Frazier sets McKinney up with 9:15 to play here in the first half. 1st and 10 at the Longview 48-yard line.
Actually was a really good punt by him. He kicked it end over end and kicked from deep in his own end of the field and got it out to midfield.
John King says Montsevius has got a thunder leg. He can blast it. By the way, our temperature has dropped now. It's only 101. 2 wideouts to the left side this time, and they'll hand it off. Jackson jukes one guy, gets away, then gets extra yardage to the 40, inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Not enough yards for a first down, but only 1 yard shy. Jackson showing some jukes. He's a 6'1", 230-pounder with those kind of moves. That's just not even fair.
He's a really big high school.
Yes, he is.
Back. And he can run, too.
Kind of built like Leonard Fournette when you look at him, you know?
Yeah.
All right, this time a jet sweep, handoff, right side, and running out of bounds at no gain. Good pursuit out there The carry was by number 14, Khalil Best. And making the stop on the play was Jaden Simmons. And so they spot the ball as a loss back to the 38-yard line. It is 3rd down and 9. Man in motion to the far side. Dowd at quarterback, turns, changes the play. Now he'll turn, hand it off to the tailback. Jackson right up the middle, ball's on the ground on 3rd down and 1. But McKinney was able to retain possession, and now it's 4th and 1. Actually, about 4th and a half yard to get that first down. You got to believe they'll go for it here.
Yeah. You'd think they'd give it to the big back, too.
They're trying to make sure they get the right personnel on the field. They've got a lot of confusion on defense right now. And now the goal line defense steps up. Ball's loose on the ground. It's going to be a flag down, and McKinney fumbled it before they could get to the first down marker. So either way, unless the penalty is against Longview, the Lobos will have turned McKinney back. And they are coming off the field. The handoff was sloppy, and the ball hit the ground to Jackson before he could even get to the line of scrimmage. Oh, it is against Longview. Wow, that's a killer.
No kidding.
In the neutral zone, the defensive line jumped. They had McKinney stopped, and yet the penalty keeps the drive alive.
Well, that's just a tough break for the Lobos there. It comes at a bad time.
So McKinney keeps going. They've got the ball now at Longview's 34-yard line after that gift penalty. Shift to the left. I formation. Handoff. Jackson hit in the backfield, and he's going to go down. And on the stop, 81. Derensburg, who's having a nice game at outside linebacker, led the way. Loss on the play back to the 37-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down and 13. Longview defense has been put in some tough positions, but they've managed to hold up pretty strong here in the first half.
They actually have played pretty good against a really good team.
This time Dowd threw a pass out. The receiver never turned around to catch it, and looking for an interception but not able to make it was Jaden Simmons. Mekhi Frazier was going up the field, and I guess the quarterback thought he was going to be cutting outside because they were not on the same page. And when Dowd threw that pass, Simmons was going to try to jump the route and pick it off, but wasn't able to get past the wide receiver. Missed opportunity there for a big turnover. But it's 3rd down and 13 now. 3 wideouts to the left. Ball's on the right hash mark. Dowd at quarterback, drops straight back. Blitz coming. Now he's going to run. And he gets caught at the 40. There's a flag, and he's going to get called for face mask. My goodness. Great defensive play made by Chase Smith, but he got Dowd's face mask when he was going to bring him down, and that's going to be a 15-yard penalty. So, again, the Lobos this close to making really good plays and then get burned with a penalty.
Such a bad break, too. Just reached out and grabbed the face mat. And,
I mean, you can't fault the effort. But McKinney moves the ball now to 1st and 10 at the Longview 21, and the Lobos have been guilty of penalties that have kept these drives going when it looked like they were going to get off the field.
Yeah, I mean, they had 2 or 3 opportunities looked like they were going to stop the drive, but just mistake after mistake.
7-0 McKinney with 6:46 to go in the first half. Turn, handoff, a flip to a running to the wide receiver coming on the right side on a jet sweep. He gets stopped at the 20. He's going to fight to the 19 and not get any more than that. And that's going to be Khalil Best. There was a flag on the play?
Yeah, it was.
No?
It wasn't.
Ball came out. Okay.
There's a block in the back that they missed on this side, too.
So they didn't give him forward progress. He got stopped at the 19-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 8. McKinney has the ball at the Longview 19 with 6:03 to play here in the first half. Quarterback pulls it on a zone read. 10-5 touchdown. God's power, Wawehe. On a zone read, found a lane down the right side and just ran behind the wall and walks in for the score. 19-yard touchdown run.
Too many mistakes. Too many opportunities for a really good team in that drive.
Cole Dopper will try the extra point. Lobos jump off sides. Flag goes down. They'll just move the ball half the distance. Oh, illegal procedure? Is that the call? It is, and it is against McKinney. So that'll make the extra point more of a challenge anyway after a 5-yard penalty. That'll make it a 24-yard kick, 25-yard kick to try to make it 14-0 McKinney on top. And that kick is up, and it's good. And with 5:50 to play in the first half, it's now McKinney 14, Longview nothing. You are listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
The best things in life are free. You know, the simple things. Things that bring us joy, comfort, and peace of mind. Things you simply enjoy. With Eastman Credit Union's Beyond Free checking account, that's exactly what you'll get. A checking account that meets your financial needs with no hassles, no hidden fees, and all the features that make managing your money stress-free. Experience the freedom of a Beyond Free checking account from Eastman Credit Union. Open your account today at ecu.org/free.
Super students require super powerful internet. Get Cable Links Broadband. Now 1 gig with unlimited data for $79.95 a month. The best deal in town. You get a 12-month price lock, 30-day money-back guarantee, no credit check, and no deposit. Plus, you may qualify for the affordable connectivity plan for more savings. Visit cablelinks.com/connect. That's cablelinks.com/connect. Many factors affect speed. Offer expires without notice. Restrictions apply.
Time out. This time out brought to you by First Choice Personnel. For all your hiring needs, more Lobo football coming up.
Soapy's Car Wash has been a proud sponsor of Longview Lobo football for over 20 years. Stay clean this football season with Soapy's Car Wash. The self-serve and automated bays in front of Sam's Club on Wall Street. And of course the drive-through wash on Highway 80. Save money with a monthly pass. And let's stay mean and clean all the way to the state championship. Soapy's is a place to be. Soapy's Car Wash. Just say the works.
A penalty-filled drive enables McKinney to take it the distance and score on a God's Power Wawehe 19-yard run with 5:50 to go in the first half. McKinney up 14-0. Lobos get the kickoff. Touchback now on first down. They'll hand it off. And it's going to be Mason Washington who gets a short gain out to the 29-yard line. 4 yards on the play with 5:30 to go in the first half, trailing now 14-0. This is what you don't want to have happen, is to be getting down and now having to be put in a position where you may have to throw it more than you'd really like to. 2 wideouts to the right, handoff up the middle. Tatum's hit right at the line of scrimmage, and he won't get back to the line of scrimmage.
I think that was Mason Washington.
I'm sorry. It is Washington. Thank you. Oliver made the tackle. McKinney defense making it real tough on Taylor Tatum so far, and it's 3rd down and 5 now, and this is going to be a real quick drive unless they can find something to convert this first. From their own 30-yard line, split backfield, play action, Tut back to throw, deep ball left side, man open, caught, DeKalen Reese drops the ball out of bounds, but it's a fumble on the play actually, and it goes out of bounds, so it's going to be a long gain, and it's going to stand for the Longview Lobos. And we've got an injured player on the field for McKinney. At the same time, the defender went down. I don't know if that's a cramp or something more serious there.
I think it's something more serious, as they're be pretty concerned.
This is a 36-yard gain by DeKalen Reese.
And that time it was a good throw and a good catch. Longview makes the big play.
First big explosive play by Longview tonight. Out to the 35-yard line in McKinney territory, and they're still tending to an injured player. Let's take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
Fish's RV knows a thing or two about how to go play in Texas. And we've been here long enough to know that this time of year, in this town, that means one thing. Lobos football is back. And Fish's RV's fired up to be back as a sponsor. We can't wait to watch the green, gold, and white get back to ball and take care of business. So, Lobos fans, help us bring the noise every game this fall. Because if we're going to go play, we might as well go all the way. Fish's RV in Longview at the intersection of Judson and George Ritchie, where memories begin.
4:30 to play in the first half. Longview, 1st and 10 at the 35. Tatum takes the handoff. He'll get to about the 29. The injured player, Zadian Gentry, and it didn't look good. Looked like his left knee, because he had to be helped off the field and he could not put weight on that left leg. 2nd down and 6, Lobos. In McKinney territory, trailing by 14. Now they'll come out with 2 wide receivers. Tatum's in the slot to the right side. Play action. Tut fires it deep. Right side. Tatum, it's overthrown. Just beyond his reach. Incomplete. Defender out there talking some noise to Tatum at the same time.
Tatum was in the slot. He ran a flag route. Looked like they had a chance to make a play, but he goes incomplete.
Xavier Filsamy talking like he did something. The ball was just overthrown. But he's already chirping like a Power 5 defensive back. So from the 31, we've got another player down. This time Filsamy. And I don't know if he's hobbling off, but I don't know if this is a cramp this time. Oh, they want him to hit the ground. I don't know if the heat's starting to bother some of these guys, and it's a cramp. 3:42 to go. Let's take another 30-second timeout. You're listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
Peters Chevrolet has a new shipment that just arrived. Our largest selection of trucks and cars of the year. With Silverados, Silverado Heavy Duty, and the Silverado Diesel half-ton trucks with up to 29 miles per gallon. And don't miss fantastic deals, like 1.9% financing on Silverado and Silverado Heavy Duty. So check out the largest selection of new Chevrolets at Peters Chevrolet. Online at peterscars.net. Peters Chevrolet, find new roads.
Back to play, 3:35 to go. Tut on a rollout on 3rd down, had to get rid of it, and he got hit by Jordan Covington as he let it go incomplete. Lobos now faced with a 4th down and 6.
Tried to roll out and get the ball out to Taylor Tatum, but he was under such pressure that he underthrew the pass.
Has not been a beautiful first half offensively for the Lobos. Running room has been real tough to come by for Taylor Tatum.
I've got him with 40 yards running. 9 carries.
4th down and 6 now. Quick flip. Tatum, he's going to throw it. Deep ball. Man's wide open. Reese, end zone, touchdown. Wow. Taylor Tatum.
We've seen that before, and I just think they hadn't, and they thought he was going to run it. But Taylor Tatum can throw the football.
31-yard pass from Tatum to DeKalen Reese. And the Lobos on the board. And that's a big momentum shifter at 3:22 to go in the first half. Monsivius will try the extra point. And it's up, and it's good. And so with 3:22 to go in the first half, it's now McKinney 14, Longview 7. You're listening to Longview Lobo Football on 106.5 Jack FM.
When you're in need of collision repair, you need a shop that has a proven track record of being experienced, reliable, and friendly. McDaniel's Quality Body Works has stood the test of time in Longview for 89 years. From the early years of repairing Furies, Bel Airs, and Studebakers to today's complex Cobras, Stingrays, and Silverados, McDaniel's has been committed to your automotive collision repair needs since 1933. McDaniel's Quality Body Works in Longview, Kilgore, and Gilmer is a solution to your collision repair needs.
At Christus Health, something very important drives us to keep pushing the boundaries of medicine and care with new technologies and programs. It's the reason we continue to expand into new communities each year, bringing more physicians, more services, and more care closer to more people. So what could be that important? You. Your health, your life. Our purpose. Christus Health.
Lobos get a couple of explosive plays. Tut to DeKalen Reese for 36 yards. That sets up a Taylor Tatum tailback pass to DeKalen Reese from 31 yards out for the touchdown. Lobos on the board. They trail 14-7 with 3:22 to go here in the first half. And they are about to kick it off. Monsivius puts his foot into it. It's taken about 2 yards deep in the end zone, brought out to the 20, 25, gets a block, still running at the 40, and knocked out of bounds. A flag goes down as DeAndre Shepard brings it all the way out to the 47-yard line. That's a 50-yard kickoff return.
I think there's going to be a block in the back, though.
All right, let's see. Let's hope so. For Longview's sake. Officials talking it over. And it is a block in the back against McKinney. So wipe out a really good return. And that will bring the ball back to about the 24-yard line. That's a tough penalty for McKinney and a big break for Longview. 3:12 to go in the first half. 14-7. Lions on top of the Lobos. Quarterback under center. Two wideouts. They'll turn. Play action. Rolling out to his left. Left-hander throwing deep. And the ball comes back, and it's a pass interference call. As the ball was intended for Khalil Best. And Washington was the player. Was it Washington? I'm trying to make out the numbers.
It's hard to make out the numbers, but that actually was a good play because had he not tackled him, I think that was going to be a long catch.
Javian Robertson is the guy that got the flag. Pass interference against Longview. And it was a good call because he was all over Best as Best was trying to come back for the ball. And then a sideline warning against McKinney now. Lobos have been hurt by penalties, especially defensive penalties tonight. So Lobos will have to play defense now, 1st and 10 for McKinney at their own 44-yard line. Handoff, Jackson up the middle with a burst, but only a short gain on the play. And on the stop is Chase Smith. And Garrett also in there. 5-yard gain, 2nd down and 5 from the 44. 2:45 to play in the first half. McKinney in their own territory. Best will set up outside to the left. It'll be an offset eye, and they'll hand it off to Jackson. Jackson hit in the backfield. Derensburg again having a heck of a ball game. And he gets a 2-yard gain on the play. And now it's 3rd down and 3 from the 46.
At the Lions' 46-yard line.
Lobo defense would like to hold McKinney out of the end zone here right before half.
You don't want to give up one here.
No.
They've got some of the momentum with that last score.
2 wideouts to the left side this time from the gun. Godspell in the game this time. Rolling right, broken tackle, gets the first down, and thank goodness it was Chase Smith who saved a touchdown, tackling him out there at around the 40-yard line.
That was a big tackle. Shooting tackle. Looked like he was fixing to head up the sideline.
While Weehay has some speed, you'd think that Marcus Shaver will want to try to find a way to keep him on the field more often. 1st and 10, McKinney at the Longview 43. Snap back, Dowd fires right side, caught at the 25-yard line, and a tackle made out there by Jaden Simmons. The catch made by Christian McKintress, and it's a 21-yard gain.
Yeah.
And a timeout call by McKinney with 1:14 to play here in the first half. Let's take that 30-second timeout with him. You're listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
You're listening to the Lobo Radio Network on 106.5 Jack FM. Longview Lobo football, brought to you by Longview Kilgore Cable. Now let's get back to the game on 106.5 Jack FM.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
After the McKinney timeout, a handoff jet sweep. Rolling to his left and dropped for no gain on the play. Good defense by Willie Nelson to bring down Khalil Best for a loss back to the 23-yard line. Now right up to the line of scrimmage comes McKinney with 54 seconds to go. 4 wideouts this time. In the gun, Dowd, left-hander, back to throw, fires it, almost intercepted and deflected and caught. Intercepted by Longview. Wow. And the deflection into the hands of Buddha Garrett.
Man, what a big play.
I can't tell you who made the deflection, but I know it ended up in the hands of Buddha Garrett. I haven't noticed if they run anything on a replay board, but Buddha Garrett with an interception with 44 seconds to go at the 4-yard line. So the Lobos now just need to eat up some clock and go into the locker room now. Tutt under center. You would think he's just going to take a knee here. They hand it off, though, to Tatum. Tatum fights for yardage up the middle to the 7-yard line.
Yeah, McKinney's got all their timeouts left, so
4 yards on the play. Second down and 6. Lobos.
Second down now and 7 for the Lobos from the 8-yard line. Clock continues to run down. The 40-second clock hasn't started yet. No, I checked that. It's the play clock's at 15. There's 14 seconds left. They may not have to run another play. And it looks like they won't. Lobos are going to be content to get out of a shaky first half, down only 14-7 against McKinney. It is halftime. And McKinney leads it 14-7 over the Longview Lobos. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back and you'll hear from Harlan the Sports Guy and Pigskin Bob on the halftime show. You're listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
Longview Lobo High School football.
Brought to you by Peters Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Buick, and Longview.
Injuries aren't planned, and here at Longview Orthopedic, we're going to work together with patients to try to attain the best outcome possible for them. We have the ability to treat all injuries for all patients and athletes of all ages. One thing I want patients to understand is that, I've been in their situation. I played football at Texas A&M University, played offensive line, I was a guard, and being an athlete, suffering injuries, and having that passion to get back on the field gave me a really good perspective on the other side of the line as a treating physician now here at the Longview Orthopedic Clinic.
Why hire the Lobo lawyers? Because if you've been seriously injured through no fault of your own, you don't have to fight the insurance company alone. We are your pack, and we will fight for you. When it's time to Lobo up and lawyer up, call Sorey and Hoover, the Lobo Lawyers. 903-CALL-DAN. Board-certified personal injury trial lawyers. 903-CALL-DAN. That's 903-CALLDAN. Sorey and Hoover, the Lobo Lawyers.
Start checking at Telco Plus Credit Union to be a winner. Their checking accounts are awesome. Direct deposit is paid 2 days early. Bill pay is free. Overdraft or no overdraft options. And they set you up to win a free app, low balance alerts, and budget software. They have discounts for students and seniors. Open a checking account today with your hometown credit union, Telco Plus, to save and earn more. Federal insured by the NCUA. Checking approval and membership qualifications apply. Visit telcoplus.org for details and restrictions.
Two great Longview traditions, Longview Lobo football and Hot Dog Express. Stop by Hot Dog Express this week for your favorite hot dogs and delicious fries, featuring all your favorites: the mustard dog, delicious chili cheese dogs, the famous Chicago dog, and Polish sausages. Hot Dog Express on Highway 80 now features an expanded drive-through lane. Good luck to the Longview Lobos this season. Let's make another state championship run with extra mustard.
Peters Buick in Longview has the best selection in East Texas. Over 70 Buicks to choose from, like the all-new 2024 Buick Encore GX, starting at $25,750. Or the Buick Encore GX Avenir, with an all-new look and up to 31 miles per gallon. The largest selection of new Buicks from the #1 Buick dealer in East Texas, Peters Buick. Online at peterscars.net.
Super students require super powerful internet. Get Cable Links Broadband. Now 300 megs with unlimited data for less than $35 a month. The best price in town for this speed. You get a 12-month price lock, 30-day money-back guarantee, no credit check, and no deposit. Plus, you may qualify for the affordable connectivity plan for more savings. Visit cablelinks.com/connect. That's cablelinks.com/connect. Many factors affect speed. Offer expires without notice. Restrictions apply.
Back to the beginning when God created football.
Let's go! Welcome to the Eastman Credit Union Halftime Show, presented by 106.5 Jack FM.
Hey, it's cooling off at halftime. It's 99 degrees now. Feels like 103. It's halftime, and McKinney is up 14-7 on the Lobos. Brian Houston along with Johnny Vaughn. The Lobos on their first possession actually had a bad special teams play where Andrew Tutt snapped the ball over the punter, John Monsivius' hands, over his head, and the ball rolled back to the 5-yard line where McKinney High School recovered it. They scored a couple of plays later on a Khalil West jet sweep from 10 yards out to make it 7-0, and that's where the score was at the end of one quarter, 7-0 McKinney. Later in the second quarter, God's Power Wawehe scores from 19 yards out for McKinney to make it 14-0 with 5:50 to go in the first half. Longview comes back with a nice drive, gets a couple of big plays, a tut to DeKalen Reese, 36-yard pass, and then a little trickery. Taylor Tatum with a 31-yard halfback pass to DeKalen Reese. That cut the lead to 14-7. Lobos on the board with 3:22 to go in the first half. And then right before halftime, with about 44 seconds to go, Buda Garrett gets a deflection for an interception at the 4-yard line to turn McKinney away. And that's where we stand now, 14-7. McKinney on top of the Longview Lobos. Johnny Vaughn, thoughts?
Well, I think that the fact that the game is 14-7, because Longview really had a pretty rough first half. They made a lot of mistakes. They started off with a bad snap, but they seemed to come back together as the half went on. Taylor Tatum, I've got him with 10 carries for 43 yards, but he's been running with a lot of people in front of him. Tut, I think, has been kind of a little iffy in the first half, but he made some plays in the last drive. DeKalen Reese has 3 receptions and a touchdown. So, I don't think Coach King's going to go in there and say this was a great first half for him. But I think the fact that in the second quarter we kind of played better and did better, and we've kind of shut down their best back, Brian Jackson. I've got him with 33 yards.
Wow.
So. I don't know if that's exactly right, but
I'll take it.
And I think Longview just has gotten better as the game's gone along. It'll be interesting to see what they do in the second half, because we had a lot of penalties, a lot of mistakes in places where we just shouldn't have had. But then we made the big play down here at the other end, the tip pass with the interception. So.
It's been a mixed bag in the first half, but they're still there. It's 14-7, so they can come out and have a strong second half and get out of here with a win. They certainly have it within reach. It's 14-7. McKinney on top of Longview at halftime. We're going to take a break. We're going to go to Pigskin Bob and Harlan the Sports Guy and hear the halftime show. Coming up next, this is Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
The best things in life are free.
All right, I'm going to get up.
Things that bring us joy, comfort, and peace of mind. Things you simply enjoy. With Eastman Credit Union's Beyond Free checking account, that's exactly what you'll get. A checking account that meets your financial needs with no hassles, no hidden fees, and all the features that make managing your money stress-free. Experience the freedom of a Beyond Free checking account from Eastman Credit Union. Open your account today at ecu.org/free.
When you're in need of collision repair, you need a shop that has a proven track record of being experienced, reliable, and friendly. McDaniel's Quality Body Works has stood the test of time in Longview for 89 years. From the early years of repairing Furies, Bel Airs, and Studebakers to today's complex Cobras, Stingrays, and Silverados, McDaniel's has been committed to your automotive collision repair needs since 1933. McDaniel's Quality Body Works in Longview, Kilgore, and Gilmer is the solution to your collision repair needs.
Difficult? Well, it doesn't have to be. Alpha Digital already has targeted databases built to very qualified candidates that are just looking for the right opportunity. That allows you to target exactly who you're trying to reach with a budget that is customized just for you. Learn about all the possibilities by going to alphamediadigital.com today. Find your next star employee with alphamediadigital.com.
Passing the competition by leaps and bounds. The team of world-class specialists at Christus Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute are experts in caring for bones, joints, and muscles. In addition to treatment, they also provide special programs designed to keep you in optimal shape and improve athletic performance. So whether you're a student athlete or a weekend warrior, they'll keep you at the top of your game. Christus Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute, taking orthopedic care a step further.
Fish's RV knows a thing or two about how to go play in Texas. And we've been here long enough to know that this time of year, in this town, that means one thing. Lobos football is back. And Fish's RV's fired up to be back as a sponsor. We can't wait to watch the green, gold, and white get back to ball and take care of business. So, Lobos fans, help us bring the noise every game this fall. Because if we're going to go play, we might as well go all the way. Fish's RV in Longview at the intersection of Judson and George Ritchie, where memories begin.
Why hire the Lobo lawyers? Because if you've been seriously injured through no fault of your own, you don't have to fight the insurance company alone. We are your pack, and we will fight for you. When it's time to Lobo up and lawyer up, call Story and Hoover, the Lobo lawyers. 903-CALL-DAN. Board-certified personal injury trial lawyers. 903-CALL-DAN. That's 903-CALLDAN. Story and Hoover, the Lobo lawyers.
Soapy's Car Wash has been a proud sponsor of Longview Lobo football for over 20 years. Stay clean this football season with Soapy's Car Wash. The self-serve and automated bays in front of Sam's Club on Wall Street. And of course the drive-through wash on Highway 80. Save money with a monthly pass. And let's stay mean and clean all the way to the state championship.
Soapy's is a place to be.
Soapy's Car Wash. Just say the works.
Peters Ram in Longview is the #1 Ram truck dealer in East Texas. Don't miss the biggest deal in Texas, the Ram Half-Ton Lone Star, 2.9% for 72 months, or get a $9,000 discount. Ram heavy-duty trucks, the largest selection of the year, and Ram commercial and fleet units are in stock and ready to go to work. The largest selection of new Ram vehicles at Peters Ram during the Make This the Summer sales event. Online at peterschryslerjeep.net.
Lobo Nation is on 106.5 Jack FM. This is the Halftime Report.
Harlan, the sports guy, and Pigskin Bob on the Longview Lobo Halftime Report, brought to you by Eastman Credit Union. And Bob, we're Thursday night football, but tomorrow night, it's week 1, and it's not like it starts off soft, man.
No, it does not.
There are great games across East Texas tomorrow night, and does it get any better than Legacy and Lufkin to kick things off? The debut of Coach Bo.
I think that's going to be one heck of a football game. I think Legacy really lucked out getting him as their head football coach.
I agree.
So I think yeah, they're going to be competitive. I think it does get better than that, though.
Okay.
All right.
Do tell.
Chapel Hill and Gilmer.
That's pretty good.
I think that's going to be probably the marquee matchup.
Number 3 and number 5 in 4A Division I, 4A Division II. Pretty good teams.
But
right
I think it gets even better than that. What do you think about the Carthage-Kilgore matchup? I mean, you got Red Bulldogs both sides of the field and
all over the field.
All over the place. Yeah. I mean, that should be one heck of a game as well.
Yep, and that will be exciting. The 9th time that Scott Surratt goes out to defend a state championship.
Is that amazing?
Looking for history. No head coach has ever won 10. He's trying to become the first. It starts tomorrow night in Kilgore.
Are you going to bet against it?
No.
Not at all. I tell you, the Carthage Bulldogs are coming back loaded. I think it all depends upon the quarterback play with his son, who's a sophomore, Jet Surratt.
Yeah.
Is he going to be able to carry on the reputation?
I like to say in the offseason, his dad's the quarterback whisperer.
Yeah.
Well, now he's just whispering across the kitchen table. And he has been for a long, long time.
I bet he knows every play backwards and forwards. All right. Other games we're going to be watching, Tatum and Center should be a pretty good matchup tomorrow night.
I love that game. We have Tatum next week against Dangerfield, and I think Dangerfield-Gladewater tonight, jumping ahead. 2 great games there, and then we've got Tatum-Dangerfield next week.
It's going to be awesome. I think Winsboro, Paul Pewitt should be a fun game to follow. West Rusk and Malakoff.
I have a star by that game.
Normally that game would have been bumped up to the top 4, but there's big games week 1.
I love that game. Malakoff should be very, very good this year, and it's interesting to see West Rusk, new head coach there.
Yeah, I mean,
Mana takes over.
How's that going to happen?
Right, and they lost a lot of talent from last year's Blue Raider team, so interesting game.
Okay, Joaquin and ARP. That game is in ARP tomorrow night, and here's the deal. I don't know if Overshone's injury, who is now a Dallas Cowboy, he's from ARP, and we're going to be at the pep rally tomorrow. I wonder how much energy is sapped out of that building because Overshone is out for the season. Does it matter anything to high school football?
I don't think so. I think they wish it hadn't happened, but
I'm just saying.
I'm going to move on and give you Kaufman at Lindale, a great rivalry there. I think that's one of the better games in the state tomorrow night.
I think Harmony versus Hooks is going to be a big matchup tomorrow night.
Boy, Harmony,
I like that one.
What a run last year all the way to the state semifinals after starting off 0-4. And now Jeremy Jenkins has got all those Seahorns coming back. Yeah, they're poised to make a run.
Harleton and Carlisle. That should be a pretty good matchup. I mean, that almost missed my radar, but I think that's going to be fun. And then Linden Kildare and Ore City, they meet at Mrs. Baird's Field in Ore City tomorrow night. I've understood that somebody's going to have to win that football game.
You've got Henderson at Liberty Ilo tomorrow night and the debut of Clay Baker, the new head coach at Henderson. You also have the debut of Mike Ludlow in White Oak in Roughneck Country, Troop. And he's got a tough first game. His son is the quarterback now for White Oak, a sophomore. But Troop's loaded, and White Oak's rebuilding. That could be a long night for the Roughnecks.
Okay, Atlanta, they righted the ship last year, and now they've got Elysian Fields tomorrow night, which is a perennial powerhouse in football. You know, is that going to turn out to be a big game?
And then I'll throw Garrison at Hugh Springs because you've got, for the first time in a long time, 15 years, a new head coach for the Ponies, Josh Willis, his debut as head coach for Hugh Springs.
Big cleats to fill.
And a tough Garrison team, just like we were talking about with White Oak. That's a tough first game.
Can you imagine that we have this many great football games tomorrow night that we're going to be covering?
Nacogdoches at Palestine's a lot of fun. Fairfield at Rusk, Mineola at Canton, New Diana at Quitman. You mentioned Harmony at Hooks. That's just one I had start on here. And let's finish with Hawkins at Maud. Hawkins, new coach situation there. Okay. Maud has a lot of talent. It's the first time ever Maud has had two players on my top 200 list.
Really?
Yes. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, years ago, Maud was a contender.
Right.
And then, boy, they've been suffering of late. So it's interesting to see that they are going to be very competitive this year.
There you go. There's a look at games tomorrow night. Bob and I'll be covering them on the Friday Night Scoreboard show from 8:30 to midnight. And if you're one of those late folks, we replay the whole thing from midnight to 3:30 a.m. Saturday morning, starting at 12 a.m.
Correct.
So there you go. There's a look at tomorrow night's game. This has been your Eastman Credit Union halftime report. Now let's send it back to Longview Lobo football here on 106.5 Jack FM.
The best things in life are free. You know, the simple things. Things that bring us joy, comfort, and peace of mind. Things you simply enjoy. With Eastman Credit Union's Beyond Free checking account, that's exactly what you'll get. A checking account that meets your financial needs with no hassles, no hidden fees, and all the features that make managing your money stress-free. Experience the freedom of a Beyond Free checking account from Eastman Credit Union. Open your account today at ecu.org/free.
If you see a school bus and it's loading or unloading kids, stop. It's the law. This message from Donna Douglas and Stacy Wagner with the Donna Douglas Real Estate Team in Frankston, serving the area with quality and pride. And if you're in the market to buy or sell real estate in the area, look to a name you can trust and call 903-360-8682. That's 360-8682. Follow them on Facebook too. That's Donna Douglas and Stacy Wagner with the Donna Douglas Real Estate Team of Frankston, wishing the kids a safe return back to school.
Two great Longview traditions, Longview Lobo Football and Hot Dog Express. Stop by Hot Dog Express this week for your favorite hot dogs and delicious fries, featuring all your favorites: the mustard dog, delicious chili cheese dogs, the famous Chicago dog, and Polish sausages. Hot Dog Express on Highway 80 now features an expanded drive-through lane. Good luck to the Longview Lobos this season. Let's make another state championship run with extra mustard.
Super students require super powerful internet. Get Cable Links Broadband. Now, 1 gig with unlimited data for $79.95 a month. The best deal in town. You get a 12-month price lock, 30-day money-back guarantee, no credit check, and no deposit. Plus, you may qualify for the Affordable Connectivity Plan for more savings. Visit cablelinks.com/connect. That's cablelinks.com/connect. Many factors affect speed. Offer expires without notice. Restrictions apply.
When you're in need of collision repair, you need a shop that has a proven track record of being experienced, reliable, and friendly. McDaniel's Quality Body Works has stood the test of time in Longview for 89 years. From the early years of repairing Furies, Bel Airs, and Studebakers to today's complex Cobras, Stingrays, and Silverados, McDaniel's has been committed to your automotive collision repair needs since 1933. McDaniel's Quality Body Works in Longview, Kilgore, and Gilmer is the solution to your collision repair needs.
Protect our children. Don't text and drive in school and playground zones. This safety tip from Smart Tech Mobile Phone Repair Service. They fix both Android and iPhones. They do it all, including screen repair, battery replacement, headphone jacks, water damage, and more. Bring your phone or tablet by 2121 South Loop 256 or call 903-948-5017. 948-5017. Search Smart Tech TX on Facebook or smarttech.tx.com. Smart Tech Mobile Phone Repair Service in Palestine, helping keep our kids safe as kids return to school.
Injuries aren't planned, and here at Longview Orthopedic, we're going to work together with patients to try to attain the best outcome possible for them. We have the ability to treat all injuries for all patients and athletes of all ages. One thing I want patients to understand is that, I've been in their situation. I played football at Texas A&M University, played offensive line, I was a guard, and being an athlete, suffering injuries, and having that passion to get back on the field gave me a really good perspective on the other side of the line as a treating physician now here at the Longview Orthopedic Clinic.
Here we go. Lobo Nation is on 106.5 Jack FM. This is the Halftime Report.
Halftime continues at McKinney ISD Stadium. Beautiful palace. But there's a point where you wish they had a roof tonight because it is still 98 degrees here in McKinney right now. Brian Houston and Johnny Vaughn, it's halftime. McKinney leads at 14-7 over the Longview Lobos. Johnny, I think probably if you could point at one thing that the Lobos have got to do is clean up the illegal procedure penalties and the defensive penalties that have kept drives alive for McKinney tonight.
Yeah, we've helped them out quite a bit. I guess the first game of the year, you probably expect some of that, but we've had a little more than I expected and made quite a few mistakes. But I think as the game or the first half went along, we started to get better and better. I think Andrew Tutt struggled for the first quarter, but I thought in the second quarter he played a lot better. This is really his first start in high school against a really good team.
Boy.
So I thought that was a good thing that happened. I'm a little surprised that Taylor Tatum has just had almost no running room. He's got, by my numbers, 10 carries for 43 yards.
Which is not bad when you think about the kind of defenses they're playing against, but you're right. It's been tough running room. That's a good defense over there with a lot of talent and a lot of D1 players over on the other side. So to think about them only being down 14-7 right now, given the mistakes they've made, because they literally gave McKinney one of those touchdowns, is pretty incredible.
I think one thing worth noticing is Kalen Reese. He's got 3 receptions and a touchdown, and I thought he looked really good running routes and stuff. And so, when you lose Jalen Hale, you got to find somebody that can catch the ball, and Kalen Reese tonight has shown that he can do that and get open.
No doubt. All right, we're going to take a 1-minute timeout. We'll come back. If you don't mind, Johnny, we may bring young Matt Houston on for just a few minutes, if that's okay.
Sure.
All right. We're going to bring Matt Houston on. He's here visiting and watching the Lobos tonight, so we'll take a 1-minute timeout. You're listening to Longview Lobo Football on 106.5 Jack FM.
The best things in life are free. The simple things. Things that bring us joy, comfort, and peace of mind. Things you simply enjoy. With Eastman Credit Union's Beyond Free checking account, that's exactly what you'll get. A checking account that meets your financial needs with no hassles, no hidden fees, and all the features that make managing your money stress-free. Experience the freedom of a Beyond Free checking account from Eastman Credit Union. Open your account today at ecu.org/free.
At Christus Health, something very important drives us to keep pushing the boundaries of medicine and care with new technologies and programs. It's the reason we continue to expand into new communities each year, bringing more physicians, more services, and more care closer to more people. So what could be that important? You. Your health, your life, our purpose. Christus Health.
Here we go. Lobo Nation is on 106.5 Jack FM. This is the Halftime Report.
Halftime continues at McKinney ISD Stadium. Brian Houston, Johnny Vaughn, and now we bring on a special guest who happened to make a an appearance here tonight to check out the Lobos and visit with the old man. Matt Houston from WFAA here tonight, and your chance to see the Lobos tonight. What do you think?
Well, they obviously want to win the game. I mean, and I say that because they're showing a lot of different formations, and that's pretty rare for the first game of the season in a non-district contest. To run out, 8 or 9 different formations in a single drive, like we saw in that longest possession they had in the second quarter, that's pretty unusual. Usually, you're bread and butter. Your first couple of games, you're getting everybody accustomed. Man, that's not the case tonight, and so it's obvious that they're trying to be as competitive as they can be, and I think that they take pride in this game. It's not a tune-up. It's a game that they take seriously.
What do you think they need to be doing here in the second half to beat this McKinney team? McKinney's loaded.
Well, they are, and they've got a lot of speed, and I don't know enough about this Lobo team just yet, and none of us really do because we're getting a sense for these new, fresh faces. But I don't think you're going to outrun McKinney. So I think you may have to out-scheme McKinney, and we've seen that with a lot of wrinkles already. It's part of running a lot of different formations. It's part of allowing Taylor Tatum to throw a halfback pass when you really needed a touchdown. So I wouldn't be surprised if they pull out some tricks here in the second half and try to make room and create space so that Taylor Tatum can have more room to run eventually, and that's going to require them to throw the football a little bit too.
You recall how much fun it was playing on this kind of turf when it was this kind of hot back about 2012, 2013.
2011, the last time it was this hot, yes.
Yeah. Matt would come home with some pretty nasty turf burns from practice. I'm really surprised the heat hasn't been more of a factor in this ball game so far.
We saw one cramp that I am aware of since I've been here about midway through the first quarter. But you got the nice jets with the misters down on the sidelines. So, and you better know with 2 experienced coaches like Longview and Mesquite's, they're telling their guys hydrate. And we've heard it. It's coach speak, but the more hydrated team is the more prepared team, and the more prepared team wins football games.
There you go.
So that's part of your strategy as much as game plan and scheme is concerned. You got to make sure that you're in the proper condition. This game for 7 o'clock kickoff is still 100+ degrees outside, but it seems at this point they've been okay. But gosh, that was just the first half.
Yeah.
You still got 24 minutes of football left to play. So. And maybe more at this pace.
Let's not go overtime tonight, please, dear God. No.
Knock on some wood. But yeah, I mean, you really tested. Your hydration is tested in about midway through the third quarter, especially for guys who are running sideline to sideline, and that's just been the way this game has been so far.
See, this is the most fun you've had all week, isn't it?
A blast.
Matt Houston from WFAA, good to have you here tonight, bud.
Appreciate it. It's nice to be away from appraisal districts for a couple of days.
I can imagine. Love you, bud. All right, we're going to take a timeout, and we'll come back with the second half of this ball game in 1 minute. Back on Jack FM. This is Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
This is football.
This has been the Eastman Credit Union Halftime Show, presented by 106.5 Jack FM.
The best things in life are free. The simple things. Things that bring us joy, comfort, and peace of mind. Things you simply enjoy. With Eastman Credit Union's Beyond Free checking account, that's exactly what you'll get. A checking account that meets your financial needs with no hassles, no hidden fees, and all the features that make managing your money stress-free. Experience the freedom of a Beyond Free checking account from Eastman Credit Union. Open your account today at ecu.org/free.
Super students require super powerful internet. Get Cable Links Broadband. Now 300 megs with unlimited data for less than $35 a month. The best price in town for this speed. You get a 12-month price lock, 30-day money-back guarantee, no credit check, and no deposit. Plus, you may qualify for the affordable connectivity plan for more savings. Visit cablelinks.com/connect. That's cablelinks.com/connect. Many factors affect speed. Offer expires without notice. Restrictions apply.
Longview Lobo High School football.
Brought to you by Peters Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Buick, and Longview.
Halftime just about to wrap up. We're about to get ready for the second half. Thanks to Matt Houston from WFAA for hanging out with the old man for a few minutes. And Matt Morton, our producer back at the station, said, well, he's no Harlan the sports guy. Thank God. But he resembles Pigskin Bob to a degree, so that's something to be concerned about.
No kidding. What an insult.
98 degrees now as the Lobos are going to kick off to start this second half of play. They trail 14-7. They've played pretty good defense, but boy, every time they've looked like they were going to have a chance to get off the field, they'd have either a neutral warning penalty, or they would get caught for face mask when they felt like they had a stop made. It's just been that kind of a night for the defense, and yet they've still only given up 14 points, and one of those was just basically given to them on a special teams blunder. So we're going to see what Longview and John King have got cooked up for the McKinney Lions here as we open the second half. John Monsaves will do the kicking off from our left to our right, and we are underway in the second half. And it's taken at the goal line, brought out to the 5, 10, missed tackle, 15, down at the 20-yard line. Ball comes out. They're jumping up and down like the Lobos might have come up with it. Let's see. They're sorting it out, untangling people. Officials in there trying to break up the scrum, and they give the ball to McKinney. So we thought we might have had a big turnover to start this first half. And getting up off the bottom of the pile, number 18, Julius Matthews for McKinney. And so the Lions will come out with Jeremiah Dowd at quarterback. He's going to have Wyndham Thompson and Brian Jackson in the backfield. His receivers, Khalil Best has been a star tonight, running jet sweeps as well as catching. Sincere Blakely and Christian McIntosh are the receivers. And now they'll come out in an I formation from the 22-yard line. First down, handing off to Brian Jackson, and he runs right up the middle into a stone wall, and he's going to be dropped for no gain on the play, rather. Zarius Shepard. Linebackers coming up. I see number 34 out there. That's Brendan Reese. The entire middle of the Longview defense stopping Brian Jackson for a 1-yard loss. Second down and 11. Lions now in the gun with Wawihe at quarterback, and he'll take it and break it outside. He's going to try to get to the edge. A flag goes down. He gets hit, spins, still gets yardage to the first down marker, and another flag goes down. So we may have offsetting penalties. And we shall see.
You got to believe the first one, because they were looking down the line that the first one's going to go against McKinney, but we'll see.
And then that flag in the secondary went way high. And when they're that emphatic, that usually regards a 15-yard penalty. All right. Got 2 penalties. Holding against McKinney. Personal foul against Longview. A hit out of bounds. Okay, so now they're going to go back to the 11 and then walk off 15 yards against Longview. So that puts the ball out at the 26-yard line. So it's an automatic first down, but fortunately it didn't cost them much in yardage.
4 yards is what it cost them.
I'll take a penalty like that most days.
Yep.
All things considered. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Lions at their own 26-yard line now with 10:53 to play in the third quarter. Wing left, wide receiver goes in motion, Best. Play action, handoff, Brian Jackson. Left side finds a little crease, gets across the 30 to the 31-yard line. And it'll be 5-yard gain and a 2nd and 5. Lobos defense, Arian Harper in the middle, Billy Smith and Zarius Shepard are the ends. Linebackers Jamerson Derensburg has played a great first half. Brendan Reese, Kason Brooks, Chase Smith, and then the outside, the corners, Jaden Simmons and Javian Robertson, and Willie Nelson and Buda Garrett are the safeties. 2nd and 5, 2 wide receivers go wide right. I formation. Dowd under center, turns, hands off to the tailback. Jackson spinning into the hole, and he gets dropped right there as he hits the hole by Brendan Reese. maybe a gain on the play.
Billy Smith, though, actually hit him in the backfield.
And we've got a man down, and he's out. Sorry, Johnny, you were saying?
Billy Smith actually hit him at the line of scrimmage. He made the spin, and then the tackle was made, but it was set up by Billy Smith's penetration.
We've got a guy from McKinney flat on his back, and I don't think he's awake right now. So we're going to take a timeout. Let's take a 30-second break while they tend to this player, and hopefully it's nothing too serious. But you are listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
Start checking at Telco Plus Credit Union to be a winner. Their checking accounts are awesome. Direct deposit is paid 2 days early. Bill pay is free. Overdraft or no overdraft options. And they set you up to win a free app, low balance alerts, and budget software. They have discounts for students and seniors. Open a checking account today with your hometown credit union, Telco Plus, to save and earn more. Federal insured by the NCUA. Checking approval and membership qualifications apply. Visit telcoplus.org for details and restrictions.
Major development in this ball game. The injured player is Brian Jackson, the USC commit who got his bell rung, it looks like, because he was laying flat on his back and not real sure, I don't think, if he knew where he was. And he comes off the field, and that's a big blow to the McKinney offense. And the quarterback will take the high snap, and he's not going to get anywhere. He gets to the 31-yard line, and there's Wawehe again taking the snap and just trying to run a quarterback draw. And again, the Longview defense has nothing but disdain for that play and shuts it down, and it's 4th down and 4. So Filsamy is back at his own 20 to punt the football. Line of scrimmage is the 32. He'll kick it. It's high. It's over the head of Willie Nelson, who muffs it. Now pick it up at the 10. Breaks a tackle, gets to the 15, and he's not going to get much further than that. He's really lucky he got to the 15. And so the Lobos will take over with 8:56 to play here in the third quarter. They trail 14-7. They will start this drive at their own 15-yard line. But boy, we're going to keep an eye on that sideline. And they've got Brian Jackson under a medical tent right now, and they're taking a look at him. And a handoff is going to go right up the middle to Taylor Tatum. The ball came out, and McKinney's jumping up and down like they recovered a fumble. And that's something that Taylor Tatum rarely does. But they did it this time. It's McKinney's ball.
Man.
At the 15-yard line. Wow.
That's a killer right there. They're going to start with great field position.
Second time they've set up inside the 20-yard line. That is a killer. They'll put him at the 18 after the Longview turnover. And so again, a short field for the second time tonight for the McKinney Lions. Wawehe, check that doubt in there, and they will hand it off to Best on another one of those jet sweeps. Kind of a counter. They run a lot of misdirection there. Make it look like they're going to be handed off to the tailback, and he's already handed it off to a receiver in motion. Got 1 yard on the play to the 17. Second down and 9. Pressure situation for this defense, trying to keep Longview in the game. 2 wideouts to the right, wing left. Handoff to Mekhi Frazier. Frazier brought down back at the line of scrimmage at the 20. Nice play back there by Chase Smith. And the Longview defense stiffening. Now it's 3rd down and 12 after the loss on that play. And now Wawiwe is in the ball game at quarterback. So you got to be scared to death of his legs. And he'll be back there with Mekhi Frazier, who's an Oregon State commit. He motions left while Wawiwe throws it over the middle, caught at the 10-yard line. Christian McIntosh, he'll get to the 8, and it's a first down for McKinney.
Just a little dump pass over the middle, and it's a good throw and a good catch.
First and 10 with 7:10 to go in the third quarter. McKinney up 14-7. They got one touchdown because Longview had a high snap over the punter's head that gave them the ball at the 5-yard line. This time they got it at the 18. While Weehey now will pull it down and run it to the right side, gets to the corner and gets stopped for no gain on the play. Great lateral pursuit out there by the Longview Lobos. And I'm trying to catch that number. That looks like it would be number 3, Chase Smith again.
Yeah, Chase Smith's the third year for him to start. He's made some plays tonight.
Jaden Simmons made that tackle. And he's played well tonight, too. The entire secondary's played pretty well tonight. It is second down and goal from the 8-yard line. Fullback in motion to the right side, bootleg left, throw to the completion to the 4-yard line. That pass completed to number 19, Owen Fan, short of the touchdown. Nelson made the tackle, and the ball's placed at the 4-yard line. Both these clubs doing a lot of scheming and lots of misdirection. You really got to keep your eyes on your keys and not get caught off guard watching all the motion.
And I tell you the other thing, he's a left-handed passer, and sometimes that throws you off too.
While Weehey back in the game at quarterback, and now we've got a timeout call by Longview. Let's take it with them. It's 14-7 McKinney, 5:27 to go here in the third quarter. Let's take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
Soapy's Car Wash has been a proud sponsor of Longview Lobo football for over 20 years. Stay clean this football season with Soapy's Car Wash. The self-serve and automated bays in front of Sam's Club on Wall Street. And, of course, the drive-through wash on Highway 80. Save money with a monthly pass. And let's stay mean and clean all the way to the state championship.
Soapy's is a place to be.
Soapy's Car Wash. Just say the works.
McKinney took the timeout, so they'll have 2 left in this half. They're at the 4-yard line of Longview. Taylor Tatum with a fumble that set them up at the 18 for a short field. Lobos would love to get out of here just giving up 3 at the minimum. .98 degrees right now as we're still very, very warm tonight, but it just has not seemed to be much of a factor in this game, which is amazing. They'll send 2 wideouts to the wide right. Their ball's on the left hash mark while Weehey is in at quarterback. Watch him run. He pulls it down, finds a gap. I mean, it's a mile wide, and walks into the end zone for the touchdown from 4 yards out. God's power while Weehey with the touchdown. And just like that, Lobos down 2 touchdowns now.
Yeah, set up by mistakes, though, again. That's a couple of times that's happened for Longview.
Matt Houston pointing out that Brian Jackson, the running back, is on the sidelines in a sling. Ball bounces off the upright, and the extra point, no good. Probably the first break Longview's had all night long. And we're going to take a timeout after McKinney misses the extra point. They lead it 20-7 with 5:23 to go in the third quarter. You're listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
Peters Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat in Longview has the largest new Jeep selection in East Texas, like the Jeep Wrangler 4xe with fuel economy of 49 miles per gallon and 375 horsepower. And don't miss the best deal of the year. The Jeep Gladiator Sport is 1.9% for 72 months plus employee pricing. And shop new Wrangler, Gladiator, and the Jeep Grand Cherokee during the Jeep Make This the Summer event. And check out the only exclusive Jeep showroom in East Texas at Peters Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat. Online at peterschryslerjeep.net.
Start checking at Telco Plus Credit Union to be a winner. Their checking accounts are awesome. Direct deposit is paid 2 days early. Bill pay is free. Overdraft or no overdraft options. And they set you up to win a free app, low balance alerts, and budget software. They have discounts for students and seniors. Open a checking account today with your hometown credit union, Telco Plus, to save and earn more. Federal insured by the NCUA. Checking approval and membership qualifications apply. Visit telcoplus.org for details and restrictions.
A Longview fumble by Taylor Tatum sets up an 18-yard drive by McKinney. God Power Wawehe from 4 yards out with the score. They missed the extra point. McKinney up 20-7 now with 5:23 to go. And bigger news in the locker room as they kick off. It is taken at the 10, 15, 20, 30. Still on his feet. Willie Nelson finally spun down at the 34-yard line. And as the Lobos come out to start this drive, Matt Houston noticed that Brian Jackson, the five-star running back committed to USC, had his arm in a sling and felt like it might be some kind of serious wrist injury, and they've taken him to the locker room. We don't think we're going to see him again tonight.
We've had a couple of injuries that look like it might be pretty serious tonight.
And so Longview on first down runs a belly play, kind of like an option to the fullback. Picks up about 3 yards on the play. That bring back any memories like Doug Cox or anybody like that?
Yeah, no kidding. If they do it about 5 more times in a row.
Start running the veer.
Yeah.
Throw back to 1980. Ball's at the 36-yard line. Now they're in the gun. They got 2 wide receivers to the right. And Taylor Tatum is the quarterback, and he breaks it up the middle. 50, 40, breaks a tackle, 30. He's going to take it to the house. 10-5, touchdown, Taylor Tatum. 64-yard run. Tatum lined up as the Wildcat quarterback. There's an injured player down at the 45 for McKinney. But Tatum took the snap, took off the left tackle, found a crease, broke a tackle at about the 40-yard line, and then took it to the house with that speed. And Tatum finally hits the home run.
Probably after that fumble in the last possession, he had the red zone a little bit, and they give him the ball to go 65.
Whatever motivation you need. That's a huge touchdown, and it's nice to see Taylor Tatum being able to take it to the house. They're tending to an injured player on the field for McKinney. Let's take a 30-second timeout right now. It is 20-13 now, McKinney on top. Longview getting ready to try the extra point. You're listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
Why hire the Lobo lawyers? Because if you've been seriously injured through no fault of your own, you don't have to fight the insurance company alone. We are your pack, and we will fight for you. When it's time to Lobo up and lawyer up, call Sorey and Hoover, the Lobo Lawyers. 903-CALL-DAN. Board-certified personal injury trial lawyers. 903-CALL-DAN. That's 903-CALLDAN. Sorey and Hoover, the Lobo Lawyers.
DeAndre Shepard was the injured player. He walked off the field under his own power. John Monsifeus will try the extra point. That would cut this to 6. The kick is up. The kick is good. And Longview now trails McKinney 20-14 with 4:27 to play here in the third quarter. You're listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
Fish's RV knows a thing or two about how to go play in Texas. And we've been here long enough to know that this time of year, in this town, that means one thing. Lobos football is back. And Fish's RV's fired up to be back as a sponsor. We can't wait to watch the green, gold, and white get back to ball and take care of business. So, Lobos fans, help us bring the noise every game this fall. Because if we're going to go play, we might as well go all the way. Fish's RV in Longview at the intersection of Judson and George Ritchie, where memories begin.
The best things in life are free. You know, the simple things. Things that bring us joy, comfort, and peace of mind. Things you simply enjoy. With Eastman Credit Union's Beyond Free checking account, that's exactly what you'll get. A checking account that meets your financial needs with no hassles, no hidden fees, and all the features that make managing your money stress-free. Experience the freedom of a Beyond Free checking account from Eastman Credit Union. Open your account today at ecu.org/free.
Lobos with a 67-yard drive, 64 of that on one run. Taylor Tatum with a Wildcat run. They try the onside kick, and McKinney comes up with it at the 50-yard line. I'm telling you what, for a first game of the year, non-district ball game, John King is pulling out everything tonight. He's going to give enough folks nightmares trying to look at this film.
Yeah.
For the next 9 weeks. Okay, we got conversations with the officials. No, they're spotting the ball, and McKinney will have it. They'll start at their own 49-yard line after recovering the onside kick. 4:27 to play, third quarter. They'll start the drive. Dowd in at quarterback, tosses it wide right. The running back tries to get to the corner, gets shoved out of bounds. It was the carry made by Jacoby Probst. And shoving him out was Willie Nelson. And so for all that running room where it looked like he was really going to make something out of that, he ends up actually losing a yard. Lobos sideline to sideline. You're just not going to get around the edge on them.
He got speed out there on all the corners and the safeties. You can see it in a play like that.
Second down and 11 now. God's power. Wawehe back in at quarterback. He'll keep it again. Tries to find some running room. Gets tackled for a loss. Great open field tackle by number 10, Buda Garrett. Drops him back at the 46-yard line. Once again, Longview speed equal to Wawehe's outside speed.
Well, that's a big play there, too. Now it brings up 3rd and 12. They've almost got to throw the football. Longview can put pressure on the quarterback here. Maybe get the ball back with decent field position.
And how about no penalty here? Let's get off the field on this drive.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Don't accidentally grab somebody's face mask or something here. Dowd in at quarterback. He's got 3 wideouts. He drops straight back. He's looking to his right. Underthrows the ball intended for Khalil Best. And by gosh, the Longview Lobos have a stop on a 3rd down situation where they've been burned by penalties in the first half on those 3rd downs.
It was pressure up the middle. It forced him to throw the ball before they wanted to, and it ends up incomplete. As Longview should get the ball back with some kind of return here with at least decent field position.
Willie Nelson drops all the way back to about his 14-yard line. Phil Samey punts it. Nelson steps up at about the 18, tries to keep running. He still takes about 5 guys to try to bring him down, and they never do get him to the ground. But he doesn't get any yardage on the punt return. Lobos will get the ball with 3:18 to go in the third quarter, trailing now by only 6. They will start at their own 19-yard line. This thing's getting interesting now.
It is.
With Brian Jackson out of the game with an injury, one of McKinney's best weapons no longer a factor in this game. That doesn't mean they don't have others, though. But the Lobos come out, single back, Taylor Tatum, handoff up the middle for a short gain. That is some tough running room between tackles. He gets to the 29, check that, the 24-yard line. They'll give him about 4. It'll be second down and 6 with 2:51 to play in the third quarter. Now they have the I formation with a fullback, and somebody jumped on the line again. Goodness. There have been a ton of illegal procedure penalties, most of them on offensive linemen moving early.
I don't really understand why we've had that much movement on the offensive line tonight. It's got to have 4 or 5 penalties.
I know that John King told me last weekend that they've just had a hard time keeping guys healthy in the offensive line. It's been hard to get any continuity. They've had rotations at guard. So guys not playing at 100%, some guys playing when you wouldn't think they would normally be playing, and they just haven't been able to get any chemistry. Play action, Andrew Tutt on 2nd and 11. Deep ball, man, wide open, caught, and then comes out while he's on the ground, but he's down on the field. That's DeKalen Reese. He is down. Now that, I think that they, incomplete, all right, fair enough.
You're like me. I thought he caught it, then hit the ground, the ball fumbled. The officials didn't see it that way. Would have been a big catch.
There was a chance for a big play there, and he was wide open. But it doesn't happen, so they'll come back to a 3rd down and 11 from the 19-yard line. Lobos tried to take a shot. Now they'll come out 3 wide, and Tatum in the slot on the right side, and they call timeout, so they didn't like what they had there on the field. And immediately it was Tatum signaling for the timeout. So with 2:14 to play, Lobos burn their first timeout of the half and have 2 remaining. It is 20-14, McKinney on top of Longview. You are listening to Longview Lobos football on 106.5 Jack FM.
Super students require super powerful internet. Get Cable Links broadband. Now 1 gig with unlimited data for $79.95 a month. The best deal in town. You get a 12-month price lock, 30-day money-back guarantee, no credit check, and no deposit. Plus, you may qualify for the affordable connectivity plan for more savings. Visit cablelinks.com/connect. That's cablelinks.com/connect. Many factors affect speed. Offer expires without notice. Restrictions apply.
Lobos called the timeout on 3rd down and 11. Ball is at their own 18-yard line. Got to be careful here. You don't want to turn the ball over. It's a fullback right behind Tutt. Play action. Tutt fires deep. Right side. Ball underthrown, almost picked off. Interception almost made by Ashton McShane. It was intended for DeKalen Reese. Tutt just didn't have the arm to get it there. And so the Lobos will punt the football.
Yeah, he was trying to get the ball out there, but he underthrew it, and it was a poor throw, goes incomplete.
The one thing that definitely has been the case tonight, though, Johnny, is that Tutt has not made the mistakes that would get you beat. That's what John King wanted out of his quarterback, and so far he's held up that way. Monsaveus with the punt. It's taken on a fair catch at the 45-yard line of McKinney by Ashton McShane. Check that, DeAndre Shepard. And McKinney will take over 1st and 10. Now there is a flag on the play, so we'll see what that's about. With 2 minutes even to go here in the third quarter, it's 20-14. McKinney on top. They're still having conversations. making dinner plans. As most Longview games are, this has been a fast one. When teams like to run the ball like these two teams do. All right, looks like this is going to go against McKinney. Illegal shift. Okay.
Toyota's legendary quality, reliability, and resale value earned awards for the 2023 Toyota Tundra. Named Best Resale Value in its class by Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. And Toyota Tacoma, which has been America's best-selling midsize pickup for the last 18 years. So come see us today at Classic Toyota during Toyota's National...
McKinney will start this drive at their own 45-yard line. They'll quick flip it out to the left side to Best. Best goes out of bounds at the 49-yard line. He'll gain about 4 or 5 on the play. Just a quick bootleg and a short pass to make it a manageable second down situation for McKinney with 1:54 to play. Longview football brought to you tonight by Peters Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Buick, Fiat in Longview and many others. God's Power tries to crease, then gets blown up. Longview Lobos with pursuit. The first wave doesn't bring him down, but then the cavalry comes in Zarius Shepard, along with number 34, Brendan Reese, to shut him down. They have been able to really neutralize Wawee's very fast running from the quarterback slot. 3rd down and 8. 3 wideouts to the right side. Wawee's drops back, throws, quick pass out to the 50, caught, but not going to go anywhere beyond that. Tackle made by Willie Nelson. Also out there on the play, I believe number 24, Jameis Morrow. Check that, it was number 28, Javian Robertson. And so it's going to be 4th down, and that's going to force McKinney to punt. Longview's defense playing really well here in the 3rd quarter.
That's a good defensive series for Longview. So
2 in a row now, gets them off the field.
Willie Nelson back there, if he gets a crease, now he can turn these into long returns.
Absolutely. Phil Samey will punt it. High, short kick. Bounces at the 21, then takes a huge McKinney roll, and it's going to be down at the 1-yard line. Man,
that's unbelievable.
That was not a super high, long punt, but I mean, it took the perfect bounce for McKinney, and Longview's going to start at their own 1. Wow. Sometimes you just get lucky. So with 15 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter, Lobos huddling up in the end zone. Just an update, it is 95 degrees still here in the 3rd. Taylor Tatum in at Wildcat quarterback, and he will run it right up the middle for very little running room. Got out to maybe the 3. And that's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter. And after 3, McKinney 20, Longview 14. You are listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
Peters Chevrolet has a new shipment that just arrived. Our largest selection of trucks and cars of the year. With Silverados, Silverado Heavy Duty, and the Silverado Diesel half-ton trucks with up to 29 miles per gallon. And don't miss fantastic deals, like 1.9% financing on Silverado and Silverado Heavy Duty. So check out the largest selection of new Chevrolets at Peters Chevrolet. Online at peterscars.net. Peters Chevrolet, find new roads.
Passing the competition by leaps and bounds. The team of world-class specialists at Christus Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute are experts in caring for bones, joints, and muscles. In addition to treatment, they also provide special programs designed to keep you in optimal shape and improve athletic performance. So whether you're a student athlete or a weekend warrior, they'll keep you at the top of your game. Christus Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute, taking orthopedic care a step further.
You're listening to the Lobo Radio Network on 106.5 Jack FM. Longview Lobo football, brought to you by Longview Kilgore Cable. Now let's get back to the game on 106.5 Jack FM.
Final 12 minutes of the 2023 season opener. McKinney 20, Longview 14. It's been interesting, and it's still very much up in the air who wins this thing. But Longview's played a lot better football here in the second half.
Yeah, they have. In this series, they need to pick up the first down here so they don't turn the ball back over with giving McKinney good field position.
Tatum in at quarterback. Oh, he's going to throw this time. Deep ball, left side. Caught by Rio. He dropped it. Reese couldn't hang on to it. It was broken up by number 3, DeAndre Shepard. Tatum showing a right wing that can get it out there.
Yeah, it was a good throw and probably should have been caught as it was.
It was right on the money.
Yeah.
But the defender was really making a nice play. Shepard was right on top of him. So now it's going to be third down, and boy, there's John King again. Okay, we're going to play it safe here. Let's throw a deep shot from our own end zone with our running back at quarterback.
What could go wrong?
I'm telling you. Can you imagine? Yep, and Tatum stays in at quarterback. And this time he's going to run, and he's going to find a crease, and he's going to bust through to the 10-yard line. He's going to be a yard short of that first down. And they're going to have to punt the football. There's no way they're going to go for it here. 4th down and 1. I can't imagine John King would go for this. But then again, I've been wrong all night, so.
I don't know. I don't see the punter coming
Well,
out
it may be that Tatum punts it.
Shall he buy?
He can do that.
I'll tell you one thing for sure. He's fixing to run the ball.
He's still in the game, and he is going to run it. And he busted outside, and he picks up the first down. He broke a couple of tackles to get to the 14. A huge 4th down and 1. Whoa. John King with some gall. Matt Houston makes the observation. There's no doubt about this. This is not just a non-district game. They want to win this football game.
Well, and Coach King, who's a gambler anyway, realizes he's got probably the best running back in the state. But for a couple yards, he's going to roll the dice, and it worked.
Well, he got that run, and they'll hand it off to the fullback right up the middle, and it's going to be Buster Mumphrey who gets to the 19-yard line. I'm going to tell you what. Play calling on offense has been the most creative stuff I've seen in a long, long time. They've done everything tonight. Bootlegs, jet sweeps, passes out of your own end zone with your running back. It's just been, and Tatum's thrown a touchdown pass tonight. Touch back in at quarterback now. And they'll hand it off, finding some running room to the left side. Again is going to be Buster Mumphrey. And Mumphrey's going to be real close, but he's going to come up a yard shy of the first down. It will be 3rd down and 1. Spearman made the tackle. And now the Lobos with a chance to keep this drive alive again. Touch stays in at quarterback. Buster Mumphrey is in at running back. Tatum's getting a rest right now. Handoff. Mumphrey picks up the first down, barely. Gets a nice block by number 54, Jacoby Watts.
You think Mumphrey, when it started, thought he was going to get 1, 2, 3,
Wow.
That's 8 carries in the game. He probably thought he'd get about 3.
I'll be honest with you, too, Johnny. As hot as this night's been and the workload that you figure Tatum's going to have, you got to have some depth, and they've shown they've got some. They've got running backs they can count on. 1st and 10, Longview from their own 26. Play action, Tut over the middle, deep ball. DeKalen Reese caught, 45, 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Longview Lobos.
He just ran a straight up route and was behind receivers, and hats off to Tut. He made a great throw.
74 yards to DeKalen Reese. And guess what, guys? Lobos have a chance to take the lead here. With 9 minutes to go in the ball game, a 74-yard touchdown pass from Andrew Tut to DeKalen Reese. And now John Monteveas comes in to try the extra point that would give the Lobos the lead. The kick is up. The kick is good. Longview leads it 21-20 with 9 minutes to play. You're listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
When you're in need of collision repair, you need a shop that has a proven track record of being experienced, reliable, and friendly. McDaniel's Quality Body Works has stood the test of time in Longview for 89 years. From the early years of repairing Furies, Bel Airs, and Studebakers to today's complex Cobras, Stingrays, and Silverados, McDaniel's has been committed to your automotive collision repair needs since 1933. McDaniel's Quality Body Works in Longview, Kilgore, and Gilmer is the solution to your collision repair needs.
Injuries aren't planned, and here at Longview Orthopedic, we're going to work together with patients to try to attain the best outcome possible for them. We have the ability to treat all injuries for all patients and athletes of all ages. One thing I want patients to understand is that, I've been in their situation. I played football at Texas A&M University, played offensive line, I was a guard, and being an athlete, suffering injuries, and having that passion to get back on the field gave me a really good perspective on the other side of the line as a treating physician now here at the Longview Orthopedic Clinic.
9 minutes to go in this ball game, and suddenly the script has flipped. Longview leads it 21-20. A 99-yard drive. John Monteveas will kick it off. It'll be taken by Best, 1 yard deep in the end zone. He'll bring it out to the 10. Cuts up the middle, 15, gets blown up from behind. And the Longview Lobos showing some emotional lift now. They started at their own 1 yard line with 15 seconds to go in the third quarter. They had to go up for it on 4th and 1 down inside the 5 yard line. Taylor Tatum somehow broke a tackle and got 4 yards to keep the drive alive. And then later, Andrew Tut throws a 74-yard bomb to DeKalen Reese, who got behind the secondary and took it to the house. And it is 21-20, Longview on top. Johnny, what did you say the Reese numbers were?
He's got 4 receptions, 2 touchdowns.
There you go. Handoff, right up the middle, and no running room in that Lobo defense is coming up big at just the right time. Tackle on the play, Brendan Reese. Loss of 1, and it is 2nd down and 11. I mean, these Lobos now have turned it up a whole nother level here in the second half. Against a team that went to the 6A semifinals last year and had a lot of these guys coming back. 2nd down and 11. While Weehay in at quarterback now. Play action. He'll roll to his right. He fires out. It's picked off! Picked off at the 35-yard line. Ball comes out, and it's recovered by Longview. Interception made by Jaden Simmons, and the Lobos recover the fumble, and they'll get the ball deep in McKinney territory.
That was a great interception by Simmons, but that was a poor decision on the part of their quarterback to throw it up in a crowd, and Simmons pulls it down.
Lobos get a huge turnover now, and they'll get the ball at the McKinney 35-yard line. This thing is totally turned around.
But if Longview can just put this in from 35 yards out, it's going to be tough for McKinney.
Lobos with a sweep. Taylor Tatum fights to the 30-yard line. And he'll get about 5. And the clock runs, 7:49 to go here in the ball game. They'd love nothing more than just to keep this clock running now and run this thing down and score again. What a gutsy performance by the Longview Lobos.
What gutsy calls
by
Coach King.
He's got the guts of a burglar. I formation, fullback right behind Tut. Oh, the offensive line right side jumped. Boy, that's been rough all night long. John King's got his head down. He is so frustrated. It's like they take one step forward and 2 back. So they'll back it up. They 5-yard penalties. This will move it back to the 36-yard line. And it'll be 2nd down and 11 now. Goodness gracious. Lobos now come up with wide receivers left and right. Fullback behind Tut. Play action. Tut rolls to his right. Throwback right side. Oh, man, was wide open, and Tatum couldn't keep his balance. Ball was underthrown just a bit, and Tatum just could not come back to it. But it was there.
Yeah, the play was there, but a little bit underthrown. He couldn't turn it back enough to catch the ball.
Yeah, Tut rolled to his left and then turned around, and it was on a wheel route. Taylor Tatum was running down the sidelines and was open at the 10 and just could not connect. They've had some opportunities like that tonight. 3rd down, as this season goes on, they're going to get those things figured out. 3rd down and 11 with 6:54 to play in the game. Lobos up 21-20. Tut, quick pass out on a bubble screen to DeKalen Reese, but he can't find any running room in space because there is no space, and he's dropped at the 34-yard line by number 3, DeAndre Shepard. So McKinney's still playing some defense, and the Lobos now. I thought they were going to run the punt team on, I guess, but John King's waving them off. So now let's see what they're going to do. Tut is talking to John King. So they're going to run a play.
Yeah. I think.
On 4th and 9. Play clock down to 2. They get the snap off. Tut blitzed, and he gets caught and he gets thrown down back at the 45-yard line. Nobody picked up the blitzer. Number 9, Jonathan Agumadu. And so a big, big loss on 4th down. And it's a turnover on downs, and McKinney with good field position because of the lost yardage on that sack. They'll start at their own 42.
Yeah, that's a play, but later on in the season when he'll pick up the blitz and in a situation like that dump the pass as it was, they end up with great field position.
He didn't have a whole lot of time to think about it, I'll tell you that. 1st and 10, McKinney, and now confusion, personnel issues as Longview tries to get the right people on the field for defense, and they do. And on 1st and 10, McKinney sends a running back in motion. Flip over the middle, caught at the 50-yard line, and then running free to about the 44 is number 13, Christian McKintress, and he's caught on the play before he's tackled there, and they are in Longview territory at the 43-yard line.
Okay, Drown's a pretty impressive quarterback, the left-hander. I mean, he's really accurate. Made some good throws tonight.
From the 43, 1st and 10. Handoff up the middle, no running room. Good run defense for the Longview Lobos. Zarius Shepard and Chase Smith in on that stop after a 2-yard gain. 2nd down and 8. 5:14 to play in this ball game. Lobos trying to hang on to a 1-point lead. Defense lines up. 4-man front. And they'll hand it off on a jet sweep. A lot of misdirection there. And running out of bounds is Jabri Bickham after he gets out at around the 37-yard line. It's a 5-yard gain, and now it is going to be 3rd down and about 3. 4:49, clock stopped as he ran out of bounds. Lobos trying to find a way to keep McKinney out of the end zone here.
It's a big 3rd down play.
2 wide receivers wide left. Lone wide receiver to the short side of the field, and Dowd back to throw. Quick pass out in the flat. It's caught. Simmons trying to make the catch and the tackle, and does so. And the catch made by number 21, Jatavius Greer, enough for the 1st down. All they needed was about 4, and that's all they got.
Dowd is like a lot of left-handers. He just seems like they can see the field and get rid of the ball, throw a soft pass, and he's a pretty impressive quarterback.
1st and 10 for McKinney now with 4:18 to play. Trying to regain the lead against Longview. In the shotgun, GP at quarterback rolls left, being chased by Smith, being chased and run out of bounds by Kason Brooks. After a gain of 4, and it stops the clock at 4:03. God's power, Wawehe rotates with Dowd at quarterback, and he is dangerous on the run.
He's the one that's the runner, and Dowd is the passer, or the better passer. Let's put it that way.
2nd down and 6 now for McKinney, with 2 wide to the right. Best lines up as a tight end to the right. They'll hand it off. Up the middle. No running room, and boy, once again, Longview's defense. Christopher Wilder this time catches the back in the backfield and drops him for a loss. And so now Longview again with a 3rd down and 7 with 3:40 to go in the game. Biggest 3rd down of the night. Here comes McKinney. They'll send 2 wide.
They got Dowd in because they're going to throw the football, I suspect.
Dowd back to throw. Blitz coming off the edge. He hit as he throws. It's almost picked off. Broken up in the end zone by Willie Nelson. Dowd was blasted in the backfield just as he threw the football, and that affected the throw. There is no doubt about it. He was hit by Buda Garrett. So pressure on the back end. Nelson with great coverage in the end zone, and now it is 4th down. 3:12 to go in the game.
It's an interesting.
Do they have one more in them, Johnny?
I don't know.
4th down, Lobos trying to get a stop, and a timeout is called. Timeout was taken by McKinney. They have 1 left. 3:12 to go in the ball game. Longview hanging on to a 21-20 lead over McKinney. You are listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
Why hire the Lobo lawyers? Because if you've been seriously injured through no fault of your own, you don't have to fight the insurance company alone. We are your pack, and we will fight for you. When it's time to Lobo up and lawyer up, call Sorey and Hoover, the Lobo Lawyers. 903-CALL-DAN. Board certified personal injury trial lawyers. 903-CALL-DAN. That's 903-CALLDAN. Sorey and Hoover, the Lobo Lawyers.
3:12 left in this ball game. Longview clinging to a 21-20 lead. McKinney has the ball at the Lobo 28-yard line, 4th down and 7. Lobos trying to hang on for the win here. Can they get the stop? 4 wideouts and Dowd in the shotgun with a running back to his left. And another timeout taken. This time Longview gets a look at the formation. And they say, nope, we're going to take that timeout. John Berry wants to talk to his defense. Next week, we'd like to see the Longview Lobos go into the game at Marshall with a 1-0 record. We will be at Marshall for the continuation of that 100-plus year-long rivalry against the Marshall Mavericks. Kickoff, I think, at 7 o'clock, which means that we would have Coach John King's show at 6:30, and then kickoff at 7. And hopefully a little bit cooler than this evening has been, where it's 94 degrees right now, and the heat index still feels like 99. And yet these guys are playing like nothing's going on out there with that heat. It's incredible. All right, here we go. 4th down and 7.
I think Longview needs to get pressure on the quarterback because Dowd is really accurate, and if he can get time to throw it, he's going to find the guy that's open.
Best goes in motion to the left side. Now you got twins to either side. Blitz coming. Dowd rushed up, got running room, gets to the 20, 15, out of bounds at the 11-yard line. The perfect scenario. They couldn't get to him with the blitz, and he had running room right up the middle to get the first down.
He made a good play to get the first as he stepped into the pocket. Longview had pressure, but left a crease.
Had a huge amount of running space once he got flushed up inside. And he gets to the 13-yard line. Clock ticking now at 3:04. 2 tight ends. And Wawehe tries to keep it and run it up the middle for a short gain of 2 on the play. Problem is, John, not only do they have the opportunity here to score, but they're bleeding the clock as well. And if they do score, they're not going to leave Longview with a lot of time.
No, and they're already close enough for the field goal.
That's true.
Longview's up by only 1.
2:36 to go in the ball game. That clock just rolling. And McKinney,
we need to get a turnover here some way.
Moving very deliberately. They'll come out, offset eye, and the quarterback in the gun. And they'll hand it off to the running back, and he runs into a wall on the left side. No gain on the play. Well, actually, they give him 2 to the 10-yard line on a zone read. And so it's 3rd down now and 7 yards to go. Their ball's at the 10. Carry was made by Greer. Oh, Lobos got to find a way to stiffen here. Turnover. Dowd under center this time with a bunch formation to the right. Now they'll send a man in motion, and he reverses field. They give him the jet sweep. He gets caught in the backfield and thrown down. Nobody fooled there. Darryl Dolly makes the stop. And so now it's 4th down and 7. And a timeout called. Longview uses their final timeout with 1:31 to go. And do you kick it or do you go for it? I guess you got to kick it, don't you?
Yeah, I think you got to kick it.
Well, we shall see as Marcus Shavers is talking to his team.
Of course, we don't know how good their kicker really is, but
that's basically an extra point there.
Yeah.
So you would think, of course, they have missed an extra point tonight, so there's nothing guaranteed here.
Here's where you got to watch for Willie Nelson, because he's in his career, he's been a guy that could block a lot of extra points, field goals.
This could be your ball game right here. They are sending the kicker out, Cole Dopper. 1:31 left in the game. Tee is going to be set at the 17-yard line. It's going to be a 27-yard field goal. Snap is back. Kick is up.
Oh, he just missed it.
Kick is in the air and good. And boy, you're right, Johnny. Javian Robertson was this close to blocking that field goal, but it wasn't enough. And so Cole Dopper gets the lead back for McKinney. 23-21 with 1:26 left in the game. You are listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
Fish's RV knows a thing or two about how to go play in Texas, and we've been here long enough to know that this time of year, in this town, that means one thing. Lobos football is back, and Fish's RV's fired up to be back as a sponsor. We can't wait to watch the green, gold, and white get back to ball and take care of business. So, Lobos fans, help us bring the noise every game this fall, because if we're going to go play, we might as well go all the way. Fish's RV in Longview at the intersection of Judson and George Ritchie, where memories begin.
1:26 left in this ball game. McKinney regains the 23-21. 1:26 left. Lobos with no timeouts remaining. And the strategy on the kickoff, Johnny?
Yeah, I think if you try to hope Taylor Tatum gets it and make the big return.
But as you said, there's no way they're kicking it deep.
No, they're going to squib it.
You would have to believe they will. If you don't, you should get fired.
That's true.
What are you, nuts? Willie Nelson and Taylor Tatum back there, you're going to kick it deep? They kicked it deep. Go figure. All right. So it's Willie Nelson coming up the middle, 20. No, he doesn't make it to the 20. He gets buried at the 19. Good kickoff coverage. Uh-oh. Slow getting up. All right, Willie Nelson. Ooh. A little bit nervous about that. So now we got 1:19 left to go, and do the Lobos have enough offense to take it that far in 1:19 with no timeouts?
Well, it's a big task, especially with the guy with his first start of the year, first really time he's played in at quarterback.
80 yards away. They held it up for a substitution, I guess. And now the Lobos with two wide outs to the left. Tut goes back to throw. He sets up a screen. It's complete to the right. Gets a block. He gets... Ball comes out! Ball comes out! McKinney recovers it. Oh, my gosh.
Well, he also made a mistake with the time that he should have gone to the sideline and just run the ball and stop the clock.
Mason Washington was the receiver on a beautifully designed, well set up screen play, and it looked like it was going to be perfect. And then the ball came out as he got tackled, and now there's a player down for Longview, and it may be Washington.
I think it is.
And that pretty much seals it for the Longview Lobos tonight. McKinney's going to win this ball game by a score of 23-21. Second turnover tonight for the Lobos on fumbles. And it was Washington, and he gets up slapping his helmet. Frustrated, knows that play was a killer. And now McKinney with 1:06 left in the game. Really, all they got to do is run the clock out. Again, Longview with no timeouts left.
You snap it, take a knee.
That's
what
it.
you're going to do.
A tough game for the Lobos, who came back from 2 scores down to take the lead. Now they're in the victory formation. McKinney, Dowd takes a knee, and that should be with 1 minute to go. They'll run one more play, and the Lobos are going to drop the season opener. But, man, they fought like crazy to win this ball game tonight. They pulled out all the stops, and they just made too many mistakes. When it gets right down to it, 2 fumbles, penalty after penalty after penalty. It was your dress rehearsal, I guess, and it's going to come up short for him tonight. Again, another kneeler for Dowd, and that's it. 23 seconds remaining, and the clock's just going to run out. Coach John King is walking out onto the field right now to shake hands with Marcus Shavers. And the McKinney Lions are going to come away with a hard-fought and could be very costly win over the Longview Lobos, 23-20, the final score. But Brian Jackson, their star running back, left the ball game in the third quarter with his arm in a sling and did not see action for the remainder of the game. So that could be a major blow to the McKinney Lions going forward. But in the meantime, the Longview Lobos have got a lot of things to correct, but there was a lot to like about tonight's ball game too, Johnny.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like what you'd expect the first game of the year, especially when you starting a quarterback that hadn't started, hadn't played an entire game up until this one.
And I really don't think he was a problem tonight.
No.
I think that they did have so many false start penalties. I think the lack of continuity in the offensive line really hurt them.
Yeah.
I think that the defensive penalties, some were mental mistakes, but some of them were just things like Chase Smith getting called for a face mask on a fourth down play where he's making a great defensive play and just gets his finger hung up in the mask. And stuff like that happened all night tonight to the Lobos, and yet they still came back and took the lead in this ball game with 9 minutes to go and looked like they had a real strong shot to win this game, except for the fumble that set up a field goal.
Well, and you can't lose sight on the fact that McKinney's got a really good team.
Yes, absolutely.
A lot of good players. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a 2-point loss.
Listen, these are two really good football teams who, if they continue to play like they played tonight, are going to go deep in the playoffs. A lot of talent on the field, and that was a pretty evenly balanced matchup tonight. But nonetheless, the Lobos fall to 0-1. On a hot night in McKinney, they lose to McKinney 23-21. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back with the postgame show, Longview Lobo football, on 106.5 Jack FM.
Peters Ram in Longview is the #1 Ram truck dealer in East Texas. Don't miss the biggest deal in Texas, the Ram half-ton Lone Star, 2.9% for 72 months, or get a $9,000 discount. Ram heavy-duty trucks, the largest selection of the year, and Ram commercial and fleet units are in stock and ready to go to work. The largest selection of new Ram vehicles at Peters Ram during the Make This the Summer sales event. Online at peterschryslerjeep.net.
Two great Longview traditions, Longview Lobo football and Hot Dog Express. Stop by Hot Dog Express this week for your favorite hot dogs and delicious fries, featuring all your favorites: the mustard dog, delicious chili cheese dogs, the famous Chicago dog, and Polish sausages. Hot Dog Express on Highway 80 now features an expanded drive-through lane. Good luck to the Longview Lobos this season. Let's make another state championship run with extra mustard.
Injuries aren't planned, and here at Longview Orthopedic, we're going to work together with patients to try to attain the best outcome possible for them. We have the ability to treat all injuries for all patients and athletes of all ages. One thing I want patients to understand is that, I've been in their situation. I played football at Texas A&M University, played offensive line, I was a guard, and being an athlete, suffering injuries, and having that passion to get back on the field gave me a really good perspective on the other side of the line as a treating physician now here at the Longview Orthopedic Clinic.
Super students require super powerful internet. Get Cable Links Broadband. Now 1 gig with unlimited data for $79.95 a month. The best deal in town. You get a 12-month price lock, 30-day money-back guarantee, no credit check, and no deposit. Plus, you may qualify for the affordable connectivity plan for more savings. Visit cablelinks.com/connect. That's cablelinks.com/connect. Many factors affect speed. Offer expires without notice. Restrictions apply.
Peters Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat in Longview has the largest new Jeep selection in East Texas, like the Jeep Wrangler 4xe with fuel economy of 49 miles per gallon and 375 horsepower. And don't miss the best deal of the year. The Jeep Gladiator Sport is 1.9% for 72 months plus employee pricing. And shop new Wrangler, Gladiator, and the Jeep Grand Cherokee during the Jeep Make This the Summer event. And check out the only exclusive Jeep showroom in East Texas at Peters Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat. Online at peterschryslerjeep.net.
Start checking at Telco Plus Credit Union to be a winner. Their checking accounts are awesome. Direct deposit is paid 2 days early. Bill pay is free. Overdraft or no overdraft options. And they set you up to win a free app, low balance alerts, and budget software. They have discounts for students and seniors. Open a checking account today with your hometown credit union, Telco Plus, to save and earn more. Federal insured by the NCUA. Checking approval and membership qualifications apply. Visit telcoplus.org for details and restrictions.
Toyota's legendary quality, reliability, and resale value earned awards for the 2023 Toyota Tundra. Named Best Resale Value in its class by Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. And Toyota Tacoma, which has been America's best-selling midsize pickup for the last 18 years. So come see us today at Classic Toyota during Toyota's national sales event. You'll get unmatched low cost of ownership and lease a new 2023 Tundra Crew Max for just $499 a month. $499 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing for a new 2023 Tundra Crew Max SR5 with TV package, $499 a month. Or lease a new 2023 Tacoma, just $319 a month. $319 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing for a new 2023 Tacoma SR 4x4 with TV package. So do the math. Quality, reliability, resale value. Toyota trucks are just better and we'll prove it. Check out a huge selection at ClassicToyotaTyler.com or hurry to Classic Toyota and shop truckloads of award-winning new 2023 Tundras and Tacomas at Classic Toyota on the South Loop in Tyler. Call 888-909-9320 for details.
When you're in need of collision repair, you need a shop that has a proven track record of being experienced, reliable, and friendly. McDaniel's Quality Body Works has stood the test of time in Longview for 89 years. From the early years of repairing Furies, Bel Airs, and Studebakers to today's complex Cobras, Stingrays, and Silverados, McDaniel's has been committed to your automotive collision repair needs since 1933. McDaniel's Quality Body Works in Longview, Kilgore, and Gilmer is the solution to your collision repair needs.
Soapy's Car Wash has been a proud sponsor of Longview Lobo football for over 20 years. Stay clean this football season with Soapy's Car Wash. The self-serve and automated bays in front of Sam's Club on Wall Street. And of course the drive-through wash on Highway 80. Save money with a monthly pass. And let's stay mean and clean all the way to the state championship.
Soapy's is a place to be.
Soapy's Car Wash. Just say the works.
The best things in life are free. You know, the simple things. Things that bring us joy, comfort, and peace of mind. Things you simply enjoy. With Eastman Credit Union's Beyond Free checking account, that's exactly what you'll get. A checking account that meets your financial needs with no hassles, no hidden fees, and all the features that make managing your money stress-free. Experience the freedom of a Beyond Free checking account from Eastman Credit Union. Open your account today at ecu.org/free.
Passing the competition by leaps and bounds. The team of world-class specialists at Christus Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute are experts in caring for bones, joints, and muscles. In addition to treatment, they also provide special programs designed to keep you in optimal shape and improve athletic performance. So whether you're a student athlete or a weekend warrior, they'll keep you at the top of your game. Christus Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute, taking orthopedic care a step further.
Start checking at Telco Plus Credit Union to be a winner. Their checking accounts are awesome. Direct deposit is paid 2 days early. Bill pay is free. Overdraft or no overdraft options. And they set you up to win a free app, low balance alerts, and budget software. They have discounts for students and seniors. Open a checking account today with your hometown credit union, Telco Plus, to save and earn more. Federal insured by the NCUA. Checking approval and membership qualifications apply. Visit telcoplus.org for details and restrictions.
Peters Buick in Longview has the best selection in East Texas. Over 70 Buicks to choose from, like the all-new 2024 Buick Encore GX, starting at $25,750. Or the Buick Encore GX Avenir, with an all-new look and up to 31 miles per gallon. The largest selection of new Buicks from the #1 Buick dealer in East Texas, Peters Buick. Online at peterscars.net.
You can sit down, John.
Brian Houston along with Johnny Vaughn, and with us right now, Coach John King. I'll let you put the headsets on. And thank you for coming up, first of all. Appreciate you doing that.
Sure.
Longview Lobos lose tonight to McKinney by a score of 23 to 21. And there was a lot to like in this game. There was a lot that I'm sure drove you nuts as well, Coach. But for this kind of a ball game to be down 2 touchdowns when you give them 2 scores on short field and to have a chance to win the ball game, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's disheartening with the way the scoreboard ended up. Our kids played so hard and fought so hard. We had so many self-inflicted wounds. I mean, penalties, turnovers, gave them short grass. But we found a way to battle back. We made some plays. I mean, we got them 4th and 7. We get quarterback takes off running with it for a first down. So, just some first game mistakes. A lot of inexperience on the field for us, particularly in the offensive line. I thought, Andrew played a pretty good ball game. First start, threw the ball well, and did some good things for us. But it goes back to the self-inflicted wounds, just turnovers, pre-snap penalties, stand backed up, and defensively had a chance to make a stop there 4th and 7 and lost contain on the quarterback. So all in all, though, I'm proud of the kids, and I told them that it's been a grind. I mean, practice has been tough. Dealing with the conditions, the heat, and we've had some practices I was not real pleased with, but I was pleased with the performance tonight. All in all, there were some bright spots, and we're going to build on that. We're going to stay together. We're going to continue to work and grind and get better as a football team. And, even though we lost tonight, I think we took steps in the right direction.
Coach, you mentioned getting better. You could see the difference between first half and second half. You really played a really fine third quarter, kind of started to clean things up, and again, got in a position where you took the lead and were in a position to win the ball game.
Yeah. Had a chance. And I'll take a coaching hickey. I wish I had punted the ball from 35. We got sacked on 4th and 8 or 9, whatever it was, and missed the protection and had a chance for a big play and couldn't get it off. But with the situation they were in, they were down a few backs and had trouble moving the ball on us. I should have punted the football and let our defense win the game, and I didn't. And I regret that decision. So, so be it. But, took a chance. It's like we took a chance on 4th and 1.
I was going to say, I don't know what you're apologizing for, because that thing was the guts of a burglar call down there, that 4th and 1 down there inside your own 5.
Played backyard football, snap to our best player and see if we can be big boys and get a first. So I just felt like that was the right call.
It worked.
Our defense was a little bit gassed, and we went on a 99-yard drive and hit DK for the go-ahead score. So, I guess you win some, you lose some on some of those calls, but that was that one. I wish I had it back, but hey, move on.
Reese had a pretty good game. He actually had 5 receptions and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
had
a good one. I mean, he beat him on some double moves. We ran the ball effectively enough and did enough blocking with the receivers. We were able to shake them loose because of their blocking in the run game. And we had Ethan a couple of times close to getting a big play to him, and the ball got knocked out, and had one to Taylor, 2 of them really corner routes that had a chance to make. But, hey, game one mistakes. I hope the old saying holds true. You make your biggest improvement between game 1 and game 2, because we're going to need it next week with Marshall.
Well, you told me last weekend when we talked that you'd had trouble getting your offensive line any kind of continuity because of injuries and things like that. How much did that have to do with all the false start penalties tonight?
I don't know if it's as much as inexperience, because we had to shuffle some things around. We had 2 new tight ends in the game that's never played extensively on the varsity. We had a new tackle, new guard, new quarterback. So I'm not going to say that played a lot into it. I mean, you've got to have continuity up front, and we had it tonight. I mean, without those guys in there and the guys that were first-time starters, I thought they did a pretty good job. We made some silly mistakes here and there, but we'll learn from them.
At the same time, you kept pounding on them, and eventually something broke and Tatum was able to break one for a long run for a touchdown. I mean, yards were tough to come by in the first half for Taylor.
Yeah, they were. And it goes back to losing leverage here, losing leverage there. Not staying on blocks, and they're pretty good too now.
Yes,
There's
they
a lot
are.
to do with it. They got 6 Division I guys on defense, so and they can coach. So they're not bad on that side of the ball.
So my son came up and he was watching the ball game. And so one of the first things he says, man, you can tell these guys want to win this ball game because you pulled out all the stops tonight, man. You gave guys 9 months worth of film tonight in this first game. What were you doing?
Trying to win. That's what I was trying to do.
That's unusual, though, in a non-district game to show that much different stuff. But, boy, I mean, it's going to be hard to –
We better come up with some more trickery, though. I can tell you a few more things. But, we just tried to take advantage of what we could. Because, coming in, we weren't sure how we'd hold up front because just based off the video we'd seen. And, of course, their secondary was really impressive. So, but, we had to have a few wrinkles, and we did. We got to get a few more. But, yeah, you're right. People have it on tape now. But
they got everything on tape.
Give them something to work on.
You gave them the whole playbook tonight.
Maybe they'll work on something else besides stopping power.
Now, what'd you think about your defense overall? I mean, they had the penalties sometimes when you thought you were going to get off the field. Yeah. One of them was a tough break with the face mask. I mean, that's just the guy trying to make a great play and got hung up in the face mask.
And that was 3rd and long. We get a face mask. Mm-hmm. We get a holding call finally, and then we hit them out of bounds late. So we wound up losing 5 on that call.
Yeah.
And, but we put them in bad position. We had the snap over the punter's head to start the game.
Yeah.
Backed up, and then we fumbled down there deep, have them backed up again. But I thought our defense played pretty well. Those jokers up front were pretty big, and we're not as big as most people they play. So I thought that our kids held up well. They didn't get knocked off the ball. They tackled well in space for the most part. We lost leverage on a quarterback keeper down there where 5 scored, and good design by them. We lost leverage, and they got out on us, but. Our defense is going to be strong all year long. Going to have to be. That's just kind of the football team we have. I mean, we're going to play good defense and ball control offense. We're going to rest our defense so they stay fresh. And like I said, a couple of decisions tonight to go for. The rest of the defense. I mean, get them fresh.
Did the heat play a factor in this thing at all? It didn't look like it.
It did in pregame. By God, it was hot out there.
Oh,
but, come out after halftime, it was pretty pleasant. But no, our kids held up well. I don't think anybody cramped. And we've been that way since we started practice August 7th. Our kids are in really good shape, and I credit that to our summer program. Clark Orr, our strength coach, did a great job, along with all of our coaches, training our kids.
Johnny?
Yeah, I thought for a first game, especially with all the new people, that I thought we really played well. I mean, I know we got some things to clean up, but we lost a lot of great players last year too.
Yeah. Different team. I mean, that's what we are. We're a different team. We got to find our niche, and we found some things tonight, and we got to find some more. That's just what you go through every year, But I knew McKinney was good, and they're predicted, to win their district in a very tough district. But all in all, you still got to go play the game, and they know they played an East Texas tough team tonight. I heard a couple of them players say, "Man, them boys are physical," and we are, and that's just kind of how we're built.
Well, like I said, there was a lot to like tonight, even though you came out of it with the loss. I know that's tough, but man, there was a lot to like about this game.
I don't like losing at all. These kids, I hate losing more than I love winning, but the thing about it is we got 9 more. We're guaranteed 9 more, and that's it. And sun's going to come up tomorrow. We're going to show up. We're going to be at school. We'll go through our routine on Friday, and we're going to put this baby to bed, and then we're going to move on to Marshall.
Coach, thank you very much for coming up tonight. I really appreciate it. John King, Longview head football coach. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back with more in just a moment. This is Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
Why hire the Lobo lawyers? Because if you've been seriously injured through no fault of your own, you don't have to fight the insurance company alone. We are your pack, and we will fight for you. When it's time to Lobo up and lawyer up, call Story and Hoover, the Lobo Lawyers. 903-CALL-DAN. Board-certified personal injury trial lawyers. 903-CALL-DAN. That's 903-CALLDAN. Story and Hoover, the Lobo Lawyers.
Super students require super powerful internet. Get Cable Links Broadband. Now 300 megs with unlimited data for less than $35 a month. The best price in town for this speed. You get a 12-month price lock, 30-day money-back guarantee, no credit check, and no deposit. Plus, you may qualify for the affordable connectivity plan for more savings. Visit cablelinks.com/connect. That's cablelinks.com/connect. Many factors affect speed. Offer expires without notice. Restrictions apply.
Fish's RV knows a thing or two about how to go play in Texas. And we've been here long enough to know that this time of year, in this town, that means one thing. Lobos football is back. And Fish's RV's fired up to be back as a sponsor. We can't wait to watch the green, gold, and white get back to ball and take care of business. So, Lobos fans, help us bring the noise every game this fall. Because if we're going to go play, we might as well go all the way. Fish's RV in Longview at the intersection of Judson and George Ritchie, where memories begin.
Longview drops the opener to McKinney 23-21. Brian Houston and Johnny Vaughn here. Just recapping very quickly the scoring. Longview got off to a really bad start on their first possession. They snapped the ball over the head of their punter, Montsevias. McKinney recovered the ball at the 5. They ended up with a 10-yard touchdown run by Khalil West to take a 7-0 lead. That's how it stood at the end of the first quarter. In the second quarter, again, Longview penalized on a 4th and 1. Also got penalized on a face mask call when it looked like they were going to get off the field. That led to continuing the drive, and McKinney was able to get a score from God's power while Weehey, a 19-yard touchdown run to make it 14-0 with 5:50 to go in the second quarter. But with just the next possession, big explosive plays by Longview. Tutt to DeKalen Reese for 36 yards, and then Taylor Tatum throws a touchdown pass to DeKalen Reese to make it 14-7 with 3:22 to go in the first half. Buda Garrett finishes out the half with an interception to keep it at 14-7. And then we come out to the second half, and Longview starts to play a lot better, except for the fact that midway through the quarter, Taylor Tatum fumbled at the Longview 18. It gave McKinney another short field, and they were able to take it in from 4 yards out with Weehey again scoring his second touchdown of the night to make it 20-7. At that point, it looked like the game was going to get away from Longview. They trailed by 2 touchdowns with 5:23 to go. They missed the extra point, but Lobos come back, and finally, Taylor Tatum, playing Wildcat, takes the direct snap and busts it for 64 yards and a touchdown to cut it to 20-14 with 4:27 to go in the third quarter. And then in the fourth quarter, Tutt throws first of all, Longview goes for it on 4th and 1 inside their own 5-yard line, and Tatum makes a fantastic 4-yard run to get the first down, and then that leads to a 74-yard touchdown pass to DeKalen Reese. The extra point gave Longview the lead, 21-20, with 9 minutes to go in the ball game. Later, Jaden Simmons intercepted a pass. It looked like Longview was on the way to a victory, but they're late in the ball game. Dowd got loose, the quarterback for McKinney, on a 4th down. He got blitzed. He ran up the middle, found a huge amount of running room to keep a drive open. It set up a 27-yard field goal by Cole Dopper with 1:26 to go in the game, and it was McKinney to win it by a score of 23-21. Johnny, it was a good ball game. A lot of things that didn't go well tonight, but there were, again, a lot of good things that happened tonight as well.
Yeah, I think that
sorry.
It's clear that both these two teams probably down the way will be in the playoffs because they got a lot of talent, and when you have a lot of talent on both teams, a lot of things can happen, and I think that's what we saw tonight. But you got to be happy with some of the younger players for Longview in particular that stepped up and really had good games.
Well, and again, this kind of experience against that good a team is going to play big dividends down the road for you, no doubt about it. Great job tonight. Thank you as always. And we're looking forward to seeing you next week. I'm Brian Houston. Don't forget, next week, Longview is on the road again. They'll be playing against Marshall at 7 o'clock. 6:30, you'll have the John King Show. That'll be followed by kickoff at 7. We'll have all the action for you right here. So once again, for Johnny Vaughn, for producer Matt Morton back at the station, I'm Brian Houston. Thanks very much for listening tonight. You've been listening to Longview Lobo Football on 106.5 Jack FM.
Why hire the Lobo lawyers? Because if you've been seriously injured through no fault of your own, you don't have to fight the insurance company alone. We are your pack, and we will fight for you. When it's time to Lobo up and lawyer up, call Sorey and Hoover, the Lobo lawyers. 903-CALL-DAN. Board-certified personal injury trial lawyers. 903-CALL-DAN. That's 903-CALLDAN. Sorey and Hoover, the Lobo lawyers.
Bigger, faster, stronger, more experienced, just better. This is who we are, and they know it too.
You've been listening to Longview Lobo High School Football on 106.5 Jack FM.
The Longview Lobo Football Radio Network, presented by Peter Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Buick, and Longview. Longview Kilgore Cable TV. The law offices of Sorey and Hoover. Eastman Credit Union. First Choice Personnel. Soapy's Car Wash. Bish RV of Longview. Christus Good Shepherd Medical Center. The Bug Police. Flood Out Restoration. McDaniel's Quality Body Works. And Telco Plus Credit Union. This is the Lobo Nation on the Longview Lobos Radio Network. 106.5 Jack FM.